Hey everybody, welcome to Ari Shaffir Skeptic Tank. Already cracking. First fucking sentence. My voice is better though. You hear it? I wasn't on the road this week, so it's better. I mean, it's still shot, but it's better. Anyway, on today's episode, Bill Burr. Bill Burr is going to join us. If you've ever listened to the Monday Morning Podcast, that's Bill Burr's podcast. You already are a fan of his. He does this fucking rant every Monday, just like an hour-long rant. No guess. I don't know how he does it, but he does it. So check that out. We're both on All Things Comedy, the new comedy podcast network. I'm sorry, not network, co-op. We're a comedy co-op. We're all just representing each other. So Bill Burr's on there. We got some new people. Tom Segura from Your Mom's House podcast. That's on there, Your Mom's House. The Naughty Show with Sam Tripoli is now a part of us. Tom Rhodes is there. We got just a lot of great comedians. Al Madrigal is on the Minivan Men, where he and his other mistakeful, what do you call somebody who's made a horrible mistake? Well, whatever that is, him and his buddies with that talk about how they fucked up and left it in and had a kid, and now they'll do a podcast. I haven't listened to it. I'm assuming it's about their misery and about ways they would kill themselves rather than be in the position they're in, which is having a family. But I'm not sure. It could also just be talking funny about having kids. So anyway, check out allthingscomedy.com. I'm going to start writing a blog that'll be on the page from the road. You know what? Starting next week. I'll do it this week. Remind me. Just hold me to it, everybody. So on this episode, we talked about Boston sports. Boston people are homers. They're just complete homers for their city. They just are. I mean, every city is. New Yorkers are too, but New Yorkers are more like egocentric. Boston, they never really had a reason to be that hardcore fans. They weren't good for like a long time. The Red Sox were really shitty. The Celtics were always good. I never really minded the Celtics. Their fans are okay. The Red Sox fans can eat a dick. And Bruins fans I don't care about. And the Patriots fans, they're kind of annoying now just because Tom Brady's good looking. It's amazing how little I'll root for somebody if they're good looking. Peyton Manning, he's fine. I don't mind. I'll root for that guy. But Tom Brady, you get the gas face. So anyway, the point is, we talked about that. He was a fan of them through the lean years. And by the way, I get a lot of this. They say, Ari, who are you a fan of? Okay, I grew up in North Carolina. We didn't have any teams. I moved to Maryland in 4th grade. But before that, I made a decision on who my teams were. So I picked America's teams. So I'm a fan of the Hornets, who started in Charlotte and then moved from there. And I followed them to New Orleans, too. The New Orleans Hornets are a good team of mine. I didn't get into hockey till after I came to the Maryland area, so I'm a Caps fan. And then I'm also a fan of the Yankees and the Cowboys. And everyone's like, bandwagon fan. Bandwagon fan. Fuck you. No, I'm not. I've been a fan of those teams for the last 25 years. What bandwagon fan? I was a fan of the Dallas Cowboys when they went 1-15 in Washington, D.C., okay, where they lost to the Redskins. That was the only team they beat, by the way. We outscored you by 3 points in one game, and you outscored us by 2 in another. So officially, we outscored you that year. So don't say I'm a bandwagon fan. Not to mention, they're like, oh, well, now with the championships. What championships? They've won one playoff game in the last 16 years. They're not a good team anymore. They're a shitty, overrated team. And that's who I'm a fan of. But don't question the fact that I fucking watch the games and care. Who the fuck are you? Because you were born in that city, so you have a better right to fucking root for them? I don't question why you're with your fucking girlfriend. Oh, she's pretty. You're not pretty. You're an ugly person. You shouldn't be with your girlfriend. She's not from your hometown. Just root for whoever the fuck you want to root for. I was a Yankee fan in the bad years with Mattingly, when they were fucking never competed for a fucking title and never won a pennant. Anyway, the point is I'll root for whoever I want. And the Lakers suck. That's who I'm a fan of too. Fuck the Lakers. Let me just say this. So Bill Burr comes on to talk about, I can't wait till the Hornets. I can't wait till the Hornets are good. In 2014 or 2015, when this young team fucking starts getting better, and everybody's going to be like, why are you a Hornets fan? I'm going to be like, I was rooting for them from day one. When we had a 2 fucking game streak, I called it a streak. And then I know what they're going to say. I know they're going to say it. I can't wait. No, I can't. Fucking, I don't want to hear it. Anyway, so Bill Burr comes to join us to talk about being a Boston sports fan. So we'll hear what that's like. Bill is one of the best comics in the country, you guys. He's one of the reasons I've been able to record to write a new hour this year. This thing he told Tom Segura once, that an hour a year, that's just 5 minutes a month. And it embarrassed every comic I've repeated it to. And it embarrassed me when Tom Segura told me that. And yeah, so I did it. So I set time to do it, and I fucking did it. I wrote about what is interested me, and I did a new hour. And I'm going to be recording it. Dun, 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 dun. Announcement delayed till next week. The venue is not locked up yet, so I'm just going to tell you this: it's going to probably be December 28th, somewhere in or around New York City. If you came to see me when I was there a couple weeks ago, maybe you shouldn't come again, but you should tell other people to go because it will be amazing and I'll have a good time. Yeah, December 28th. Save the date. If you're going to visit home for the holidays. Visit home and then come back on the 27th because the 28th might be the day that I record my special. This one's on video. So, yeah, save the date if you're in that area. Or if you want to go take a visit, start making trips right now for December 28th. That's the only announcement. My storyteller show this month is canceled. So if you're planning on going out Tuesday, don't fucking go. It's not going to be. But December 18th, that one is going to be on. We're going to do stories of the holidays. December 18th, the holidays. Somebody sent me a picture. Naked picture. Sort of. What am I saying now? I got sidetracked. God damn it, fucking women. By the way, it's just never gotten easier to deal with women in any sort of way. You guys, you're just so fucking frustrating. Every time I try to not get into any sort of relationship, you're like evil demons, and you just get in. When I was in the door at the Comedy Store, I used to work the parking lot and the door, and I would get into fights with Andrew Dice Clay, like arguments with him. Because he was trying to get me to argue. He likes to fuck with people, and he would start fucking with me, and I would try not to lose my temper, and then eventually I'd lose my temper, and he would just smile because he got me. He got me to lose my temper, and it's the same thing fucking girls do, where I'm fine, and then you just you do something, and Anyway, I gotta get away from you guys. I gotta not have sex for just a short period, 10 years. So what am I talking about right now? Oh, I announced that. I announced my storyteller show on December 18th. I'm going to be in Minneapolis at the end of November and the beginning of December, November 28th through December 2nd. And then that's it until the end of the year. I'm at Nob Hill at the Bone. It's a San Francisco radio station. They're doing a show New Year's Eve. Nob Hill Auditorium or something like that. Nob Hill Masonic Center. I think they sacrifice children there or something. And then I'm in Edmonton in January. I'm in Vancouver and Long Island in March. But I'm recording my special December 28th. So get out there. Check my website for details. AriTheGreat.com. You can also go there, by the way, for ProFlowers.com. Hey, just so you know, for whoever listened to last week's episode with Sarah Tiana, people actually use the link, ProFlowers.com. If you go to ProFlowers.com and type in, there's a microphone on the top, and you hit that and type in Skeptic, or go to my website, AriShaffir.com. You can go through that. They have deals and stuff, like 10, 20% off, and they have flower arrangements that start, I think they have $20, the lowest they have. So you can get a pretty good flower arrangement for $20. But people actually did it and sent flowers to Sarah Tiana at the Comedy Store, and she was so happy to get them. For those of you who did it, she was so happy. You should have seen her face light up. When I told her they were there, she was so elated. She was like, no, what? Really? I'm telling you guys, women are morons. I don't understand. It's like I've talked to girls about great works of literature. I've talked to them about books. I've talked to them about world events. And they're the same intelligence-wise that way as men. But then when it comes to fucking tenderness, they fucking melt over nothing. They're just idiots. But anyway, so this idiot, Sarah Tiana, really loved the flowers that somebody sent to her to the Comedy Store. It was 2 different boxes. She was loading them into her car. She was so fucking happy. So if you guys did it, I mean, thank you. You should know. You really touched her. In the good way. By good way, I mean the bad way if you were a child. But the good way, grabbing boobs. That's what I mean. So, all right. Are we ready for the episode? I know it went long, but I barely did any promotion. So fucking relax. What should I say about this? Or are we ready to go? I think we're just ready to go. Oh, I also got those posters, and I'm sending them out. If anybody bought T-shirts or grinders or those Joey Diaz, Ari Shaffir posters, those rad posters, like half of those are gone already. I'm sending everything out on Tuesday, so you'll get stuff this week and next. So, happy Thanksgiving. And I'm also going to have 2 things. I'm also going to have the hard copy of my CD, of my album, Revenge for the Holocaust. That'll be out in the next couple of weeks. I'll have probably like 50 vinyl issues because people seem to like that. They'll be on my website. And also, my Storyteller show will be online by the end of the month, hopefully. These are the things I'm doing for you guys. I'm releasing that. It'll be called This Is Not Happening Presents. That's the name of the show. This Is Not Happening. It's a play on a French... Forget it. Painter. Don't worry about it. So the first one is is it sports? Is it sports one or celebrity? If it's sport one, it's called. I did a James Worthy story. I forget if it's sports or celebrity stories. If it's a sports one, it'll be called This Is Not Happening Presents Agony of Defeat. If it's not, it'll be called This Is Not Happening Presents. I forget celebrity stories. Maybe it's just celebrity stories, but it'll be up there on iTunes, $1.99. So we'll see how those go. Maybe we'll release more of them every couple months or so. So that'll be up, and that's it. Right? What was the other thing I wanted to announce? Oh, and I'm going to start writing a blog from the road for all things comedy. You know what? It'll be up next week. Starting next week, my first blog will be up. So you guys can hold me to that on Twitter. If you want to say anything, by the way, write to contact@arishafir.com. And I will get that, and I will probably not respond, but I will hear your feedback. I read all those things. Or write me on Twitter, one or the other, and let me know stuff. So, hold me to that blog for all things comedy. I'm going to start writing it. So this week. It'll be up there next week. All right, we good? Let's start the episode. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, it is Ari Shaffir's Skeptic Tank, episode 88. And by the way, in deference to Bill Burr's hatred of shipping up to Boston, or whatever that Dropkick Murphy song is that he says is super overused at Red Sox and fucking Bruins and Celtics events, probably Patriots also, I'm not going to use that song. So I am not going to be calling this episode Shipping Up to Boston or Tessie or any of those. I am going to be calling this episode, I don't know, Boston Homer. Let's do that. Let's call it Boston Homers. Ladies and gentlemen, episode 88. No, Homer. No, but does anybody understand that reference? Homer? Nah. Fuck, hold on. Oh, and by the way, the Cowboys are back in it. I know they pulled out that game against the Browns, but they're back in it now. Oh, God damn it. I got to say this, too. As long as this whole episode is about sports, I have a sports podcast called Punch Drunk that I do with Sam Tripoli and Jason Tebow. Look for it on iTunes, or you can watch live and call in. If you go to www.toadhopnetwork.com/live, we do it from noon to 2 every Tuesday Pacific time, 3 to 5 Eastern time. It's a good way to finish up your workday. Just watch us. It's like 20% sports and 80%, just us being degenerates. It's the kind of conversations we get into at the Comedy Store in the back. And we just take that to it's like, this player's better. No, this player's better. I'd rather have this offense. Well, I fucked your mom. Well, how would you fuck my mom? What style would you do it in? And then it just goes from there. So anyway, listen to that. Thematically, I shouldn't mention it on this right now. What was the other thing I was supposed to mention? Oh, about Boston in general. I used to read this article. I read this article. Now, whatever. Bill Simmons is this writer. He's a sports writer for ESPN.com. He's like columnist. And I remember reading this article he wrote. It was so fucking good about Boston sports. He was going to go to his first Super Bowl. ESPN was sending him. So it was going to be his first Super Bowl he ever attended. And the Patriots weren't good that year, but he was a homer for all the New England teams. And he didn't make any qualms about it. He was like, I'm not impartial. I'm a fucking New England fan. And New England, the Patriots, they weren't supposed to. They were bad, and I think they barely ended up winning the division, or barely ended up getting the wild card by like rattling off like 5 straight wins at the end of the year. And so he was following them. And first game he was like, too little, too late. It's not for the Cowboys. They're 1 game back of the Giants. They just get my hopes up and they crush them. They're an overrated team. And then the first couple wins, like, too little, too late. Second couple wins, like, maybe we have a chance. And the last win or two was like, wow, we did it. We're in the playoffs. Amazing. And then the playoffs, they were overmatched, but they won. And they won again, and they won again. And he's like, I can't believe it. Maybe. And then maybe. And then it's like, they're going to the Super Bowl. He's like, my Super Bowl, my first Super Bowl, I'll get to root for my hometown team. He was so excited. And then he wrote this article. They won the Super Bowl. And he wrote this article afterwards about being there. And it was such a good goddamn article. Such a great column. I would just tear up every time I read it. So much that I had acting class. I took this acting class in Santa Monica, and I would be in the back as you're getting ready to start a scene. You would have to get emotionally prepared. If it's either like happy that you just got a job or something, or if it's sad that your parent died, you have to get ready. You have to get in that place. And when it was sad, when I have to be like, I just came from my wife's leukemia treatments or something stupid like that. When it was that, you have to prepare sadness. So I would read this article in the back, and I would tear up. I would start like tearing up and almost crying because it was so fucking great. I get so into it. And then I would come out and I'll have tears in my eyes for my scene. That's such cheating. I cheated so bad. That wasn't emotionally preparing. I would just read a good sports talk column. You cheat yourself. So at the end of the episode, I'll read the column because it was so good. We'll see if I cry. I'll get high before I read it. That's what I'll do. I'll get really high off the vaporizer, and then I'll read it, and then we'll see if I still cry or not. Yeah, and I'll have a link to it on my website. All right. So here we go, everybody. Episode 88. Ari Shaffir, Skeptic, thank. Episode 88. What is it? What did I say it was going to be? Boston Homer? By the way, we didn't get into the main conversation until 3/4 of the way into our talk. We did it outside the Comedy Store on the patio. It was fun. Mostly we just fucked around with tour buses that came by. Tour bus, very lucrative job, by the way. They make a lot of money. There's so many of them. They must. I actually have no idea what their overhead is. So here we go. Episode 88. Oh, I know what we'll call it. Ladies and gentlemen, episode 88. Sports with Bill Burr. Boom. We're off.
We're off?
Yeah, here's the first bus.
And it's the first tour bus. Absolutely.
What are the odds you think somebody will recognize you?
You know what? I actually, when a tour bus came by, my ego made me slow down, and nobody recognized me.
To hope they would see you?
No, look at these people. I'd have to be fucking Bing Crosby for them to recognize me. Or that guy who sings Whoop 'em Gangnam Style.
That looks like him. Oh, he really goes on that bus.
Oh, he's got a deal right there.
They get door guys to head on there.
Do people know we're in front of the Comedy Store as we just sort of leaped into this thing without them?
Oh yeah, I guess we should say that. I'm never good at. I do intros later. I'm never good at I just start and figure it out. Yeah, we're at the Comedy Store. We're here during the day. It's L.A.
That's right.
It's November 4th or 5th or something.
7th. There was an election last night.
Did you watch it all?
No, I can't watch it.
Me neither. Do you care at all?
Political speeches give me douche chills.
What do you mean? Because you're all so fake and stuff?
Yeah, and they're so pandering, and it's like, and then I feel bad for the people who are there that they bought in that hard, unless they're actually, the pigs that are feeding off of it, and they're actually making money and they're sort of part of it.
Because then they're keep it going.
Yeah, it's weird because I don't feel bad when I see people at a wrestling event, although now they admit that it's entertainment. But back in the day, I never felt bad for them because I still thought it was awesome on some level. But
sometimes when I'm sort of high and I'll watch a TV show, you ever watch The Wire?
Oh, yeah, of course.
So it's great acting the whole way through, except that one lesbian chick.
Oh, you don't like her?
She was just off a bunch in her acting. Like, you could just tell she was like delivering lines.
Really?
Yeah, maybe it's just
Wow,
when I got
I thought
high.
she was amazing.
Really?
Yeah.
Fuck, I felt like over and over again I could just see through it.
Nah, man, that scene when she's buying the chainsaw or something,
What
and
is
she
that?
gives the guy the tip or something, she goes in to buy something in a hardware store.
The cop? The female cop?
No, she's not a cop. What? Oh, wait. What? You don't mean? I'm talking about the girl who actually killed somebody.
Oh, no, she's badass. The
Yeah,
girl says...
I was gonna say, wow, man,
Oh,
brutal.
What did she make that noise? She's
Yeah,
like, ER? Yeah.
I don't know what it was.
She was fucking sweet. That girl was amazing. Scooby?
right.
What was her name on that show? Something like that?
I was one of those. As they call it in the business, I binge watched. I bought the
DVDs?
box set, and then I just blew through
Oh,
them.
yeah.
And I almost felt bad doing it, like chugging a great bottle of wine, you know?
I did that with Sopranos, and then I realized, like, I'm not getting the same level of enjoyment out of this that I could.
Yeah, because it's all about, like, talking about it and trying to guess
Yeah.
which way it's going to go. But it'd be interesting to see if people who have addictive personalities are more gluttonous, like
do
fat
that?
people, if they're more prone to
just
binge watching. Like if it
Trying to get a whole series done.
if it crosses over from food and alcohol and those other addictions into that type of shit, you know.
Yeah, I bet it would. But that the female cop chick, sometimes with her I could see through it, and I felt like I was getting scammed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so that's how I feel when I'm watching
Wow,
the elections too. When debates, I'm
I
like,
thought she was good.
Eh.
Oh, all right. I really didn't think there was anything. But if you were to say her girlfriend, now
Yeah.
I'd be like, all right, well, she kind of was dipping in and out of the show. Wow.
The girlfriend
you're the
came
only
in
person
just to-
I've ever heard said they watched The Wire and they felt like they were getting scammed on some level.
Really?
I actually respect that on some level. You're really like...
It was a great show. Don't get me
You're
wrong.
going all
I
out
loved
here.
it. I
You're
loved
going
it.
all out. Well, you know what? It's about time somebody trashed it because it comes an armored car. It's about time somebody trashed it. This is great, by the way. I don't know how the audio is going to come out, but this is nice sitting outside.
It's fucking beautiful, man. It's 75 degrees and it's
beautiful.
November.
I was saying that you see all the bruises on the Comedy Store during the day. At night, you don't see it. It looks really.
It looks great. The red lighting. It's
Yeah.
like the flashing red lighting. You can't really see. People look better out
Oh,
here
yeah.
on this patio.
That's what I've learned in real estate. Never look at night, like you ever would have an open house at night.
They used to rent that room up there, that house up there, up that hill. Paulie
Oh,
owned it,
yeah,
and he was
yeah,
renting it
yeah.
out, and people started screaming at us like, "Shut the fuck up!" As like Brody was playing like turned over buckets as drums at like 2:45 in the morning.
Oh, and they finally had to get rid of it. Is that the one where Kinnison and Marin and all those guys?
No,
lived?
they went like one over.
They were one over.
Yeah,
Yeah, those
Just-
places are all. That part of the business doesn't exist anymore. Like just the stories
of just everyone
that
hanging
they
out.
have. It's just like are you
crazy
quoting
flow.
Boogie Nights or did this really happen? You know what I'm saying? Like they.
What do you mean? Where it's like too much? The stories like you don't quite believe it.
No, not at all. No, not at all. I just back then, still like having an intervention was still kind of a new thing. You know what I mean? And
It was. Were you around then?
you people were just still learning.
Were you around comedy then?
No, I was probably rabidly watching it in
just seemed like
the late '80s.
Yeah, there was so much coke that it must have been like just changed everything.
Well, I would say by the mid '80s they started doing the Coke, the big lie, and they came around because when Coke first, I was going to say hitting the scene, and I don't know how else to finish the sentence, so I'm going to say it. When Coke first hit the scene, Ari, they said it was no more addictive than caffeine.
Did they really?
That's what they thought initially.
Uh-huh.
They thought
Sorry,
they
man.
thought it, and they thank you. Some homeless guy.
Yeah.
He saw my hand going down in the pocket.
Dude, are you going to give it to him?
I was going to give it, because he didn't look drunk.
No, he looked okay. I've seen that guy before.
He did, yeah. Kind of came, kind of did a
Yeah.
Ed McMahon. I like the Tonight Show.
Pleasant, jovial. You know what I don't like?
You never get a second chance.
I
to
don't
make
like
a
when
first
they
impression.
when they sit there waiting for your conversation to end so they could make their speech.
Oh,
I'm
lingering.
always like, what? Get to it. You're standing right here. Wait, just say it so I can say no. It's just like,
you don't give it all?
no, once in a while. But I had this moment when I was took a class trip to New York. I saved. I used to give all the time. I was like in
Right,
sixth or seventh grade or something. All my little Jewish Orthodox kids, and I went up to like Kosher Delight, some pizza place, and I got 2 slices and a soda. And I was saving the soda. I went outside, and some homeless guy was like, "Dude, I'm so thirsty. Can you please give me that Coca-Cola?" And normally I would, but the line was like 45 minutes long to get back in. And the first time I was like, no, it's mine. It's my allowance money. It's mine.
How old were you?
I was probably like 15, something like that.
You still got an allowance at 15?
We're middle class.
Yeah.
We did all right. It was like $7 a week. It wasn't crazy.
I had an allowance, but it just sort of it faded in and then faded out. Like there was nothing written on paper, so like it would work for like 2 weeks.
There was no contract.
Yeah, then it would go away for like another 6 months. That is funny now, being an adult, thinking that a kid wants some sort of an allowance.
Free extra money.
Yeah. Listen, I know you're already paying for everything. Like, I wish I could just go back one day and be a kid and just live that day where you just go to stores and restaurants and you just get shit and you never have to take out your wallet.
Don't even feel the repercussions of
what
the
would you
cost.
like? Cheeseburger, French fries, chocolate shake. The whole transaction comes and goes. You enjoy it.
Yeah.
You go to a movie. You just...
It all just happens for you.
You're just walking around. It's like you're a fucking made guy.
There's no thought of like, is there a lunch special I should be looking at?
Oh, no,
like
nothing.
Whatever. I'll have one of those and one of those.
Yeah, I would love to just for like a couple of days.
I should apologize to my parents. I'm like, sorry, I was such an entitled asshole. Just asking for stuff.
I was kind of a difficult, not too difficult. I fucked up in school, but I didn't like. I didn't do drugs and shit like that. I wasn't like that. Or getting in fights. You know what? I was just looking at this. Rolling Stone had a Led Zeppelin special limited edition where they tell the same fucking 12 stories.
The fish.
Over the fish, the fucking 40 shots of vodka, the throwing the fucking TVs out the window, the black magic, the Satanism. Did they sell their souls? What are the? I mean, it's all this. I'm like,
nothing new's happened for them.
Yeah, it ended.
Yeah.
September 25th, 1980. Ended. But I always think of that shit whenever I look at that building. That's where, you know, that one where Robert Plant's standing there at the Hyatt on the balcony. And they always said he said, I'm a golden god, which you know he didn't. But that's what he looks like he's saying. But that's
what they did in that movie, right?
Yeah.
Well, was that supposed to be about Led Zeppelin?
Yeah, because...
Almost Famous?
Crow there, the big famous writer there for Rolling Stones. He actually went on the road.
With Led Zeppelin.
Yeah, but real quick, they took the picture right there, and that's the building in the background that you see when he's standing there. And But anyways, what the fuck's his name? I keep thinking Russell Crowe. I know it's not that. It's
Cameron Crowe.
Cameron Crowe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess Rolling Stone trashed them. All these stories have been told a zillion times. Absolutely fucking trashed them when they first came out. Trashed their first 2 albums. So by then, like they were kind of getting just sort of trashed by all critics. So. Yeah. They were just sort of a word-of-mouth band. So then they started selling out these giant places, and they didn't need the press. So then when they wanted to come back around, they were like, fuck you. But Crow was only like 17. He was able to come back in and do the interview. Yeah, and do the interview. So that it's loosely based.
Yeah, I'm sure he changed some stuff here or there. But on the Golden God, they really said that was like a tribute to him?
I don't think it was ever said. Another tour bus.
This is amazing that they're making him do this.
I don't think it was ever said.
6 people.
Incredible comedians, people from Comedy Central, Letterman, all of those. Letterman, HBO.
Premium Blend.
Yeah, I live here.
The Late Late Show with Craig Kilborn.
We're doing a podcast right now that's going out live. This is Hollywood. This is what you wanted to see. Showbiz.
Free tickets. $7 drinks. Nightly.
Hey, isn't it great that that's an option, though?
What?
That if you just buy a van and you just cut the roof off of it, just drive around just making up shit.
Make a fake patio.
Ephraim Zimbalist Jr., this is where he met Martin Scorsese, and it's now a Pinkberry.
I heard some lady that was doing Graceland was she was like training for one day, and whoever's training her told some fact to the fans, and she was like studying Elvis stuff, like all that. She goes, I didn't know that. He goes, oh, I just made it up. They don't know. They'll take my word for it.
I had a brain fart. There was some dead air. I just invented some stuff.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, of course people would. You 23, working for maybe $8 an hour as a tour guide. Of course you would make shit up.
I took a tour one time with the Cotton Bowl. I'm a big sports fan.
Yeah.
And that's in Texas.
Yeah.
And there was some woman giving a tour, and we couldn't have been more than 3-4 minutes in, and somebody asked, how many people does this thing hold?
Yeah.
And this thing held, like close to 100,000 people. Like it's
College football stadiums are amazing.
It's gigantic. Yeah. And it's an old school one, so there's no luxury boxes. You just jammed in. It's all about watching the game. So we go, yeah, how many people does this hold? Want to know if it was over 100 or just below. And she was just like 25, 30,000, right? And everybody on the tour. I mean, if you're going to the tour, you know about stadiums. Was just like, yeah, man, I think it holds probably more. And then she looked down at the paper. She goes, oh, my fault, like 97,000. And then she just starts laughing, saying that she was new. And but we caught her in a moment. It was just like someone asked the question, you're the tour guide, whether you have the answer or not.
Yeah. Way off.
25, 30,000, 97. 97? 97? That'll work.
She's like, yeah, that seems like a lot. 25.
Yeah. I knew it was an odd or an even number.
You grew up in Boston, right?
Yeah.
You were
safe suburbs.
Outside Boston.
I always say the safe suburbs because since Good Will Hunting came out, people always think everybody kind of grew up in Southie and you got into fights and you were great at math, but you were mad at your dad. Nah, I grew up this. I would have gotten eaten alive.
I took a rental car there.
All those places.
I go to Cape Cod and took a rental car. I was trying to find the way back to but I was trying to find gas. I didn't want to let them charge me $9 a gallon for it. So I had to leave, and then they were entering South Boston, and I got really scared.
Yeah. Well, right now it's really like
it looks like it's gentrified.
Yeah.
It's totally nice.
Gentrified. Another bunch of rich white people moved in, but it's inevitable. It's inevitable. What it is people. The population just continues to grow and grow and grow. And people want to be on the water. They want to be near the city. So that's how people get forced out.
You know how they force them out, legally? They have, cheap housing for them. Government-controlled, cheap housing. So if it's, I don't know, $1,000 a month, government will pay 800 of it. And so they just say, hey, the white people are here. The new housing is over, 2 blocks, two streets over, or 2 towns over. And so all the poor people and all the criminals just have to move.
But Southie was white, was all Irish.
Oh.
But it's a lot of people don't know that there's different levels of white people. We're not all bankers chomping on cigars. So they eventually got moved out. But I don't know what it's like now, but I remember hearing stories. I mean, this has been going on for a good 20 years that it's been kind of rolling over like this. And I remember hearing hilarious stories about there's all those rules down there where if you shovel out your spot, like the snow.
Yeah.
Shovel out your spot. You leave the trash can there, whatever. That's your fucking spot. And if somebody goes in and takes it, they fuck up your car and stuff. And yuppies didn't realize it or whatever. Just calling them yuppies, whatever. People who weren't in South Boston would fucking.
I don't know your jungle rules.
Yeah, they would. They had no idea. Well, the thing about it is, it's how do you not fucking figure that out? If you ever had to shovel a fucking car out, it's the biggest pain in the ass, especially. If you left it there for a couple days and you get that layer of ice is on top of it, it's impossible. It's like trying to dig a fucking tree out of the ground.
Yeah.
So there's no way you don't know that. So fuck those people.
People don't know.
And their cars. Yeah, there's no way you don't know that.
I mean, you would have to move the trash can, I guess. That's like a cone, right?
Yeah, it's like a cone. Why is the trash can there?
Yeah, that makes sense.
And each trash can too has the family crest on it. I mean, how many more? Well, no, they would have a spray painted. You know who's fucking trash.
Oh, so nobody can steal your trash can.
So nobody steals your trash can, and you're marking your territory. Yeah.
Are you afraid of getting soft out here?
Well, I mean, I'm not really that hard anyways. It's not I haven't had fights since junior high or whatever. A lot of people mistake my anger as I robbed a bank or something. People just, because nerds do.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, no, I gladly will hand over my wallet. Sometimes. No, but I also have enough rage in me that I feel like I could kill somebody, and I could mentally get past it. So I kind of have that Gemini duality there.
How would you get past it?
I would do what all murderers do, is you justify.
Why?
Like Mr. Blonde. If they had done what I told them not to do,
then they'd be alive.
Then that wouldn't happen.
You blame it on them.
That's what I said. Don't push the fucking alarm. You push the alarm. This is him. Bam. Bam. Bam.
And then you just bury it and don't even think about it again? I think that's what most people do. They're just what? I didn't do anything wrong.
Or I would have a relief knowing that I was going to hell. So there was really no reason to just... I could just
kind of be better now.
I could just give in to any whim at that point.
I've already got the life sentence.
Yeah, it's already over. And then you could just be like, look, I know I'm going to hell, so I'm fucking going to enjoy this.
Yeah.
It's such an unbelievable sentence if it's true. Where you
What,
just
hell
where you
forever?
just have hell forever. You're an asshole for 80 years and you get hell forever.
Doesn't make a lot of sense. They're
It doesn't.
testing us. They don't
The
give us
math.
any information about the game, but they say if you don't play it right, you're going to burn forever.
Right. If you don't do what hello, gentlemen, how are you? Welcome to the Comedy Store. We have comedy 7 nights a week. We have comedians from Comedy Central, Showtime,
Yeah.
Lifetime,
Live
all
at the
that.
Apollo.
We're doing a podcast right now. You guys part of the Hat Squad? Have a nice day. Sorry, they both
wanted
had,
to
they
go
both
on to
had
these bus sometime.
those Justin Timberlake
Fedoras.
Fedoras, yeah.
They came in for a while, and now they went out, and only the Persians have them. That's all that's left with them.
You know, I was in New Orleans this weekend, and a bunch of Eagles fans came down who are fucking hilarious.
Why?
Oh, they just, dude.
For the game.
You know what they literally look like? They look like, I read a couple of books. I read one book. Why did I say a couple? Always trying to fucking enhance what I've done. I read one paperback book that was about 180 pages called Among the Thugs.
Yeah.
And it was about the hooligans in the 80s that would travel around.
The Eagles hooligans?
No, the overseas that would follow the
soccer
Soccers,
hooligans.
yeah, football over there. So that's what they reminded me of. Where they sort of come, they took over this one whole like New Orleans bar where there was like a balcony, and it was just all Eagles fans. I'll show you the video of it.
They all decided to meet up there.
Yeah, and it was great. And like people were walking by with Saints stuff on, and they're chanting "asshole," yeah, like they're in Philly.
For being a New Orleans fans with
Yeah.
Saints gear on in New Orleans.
I actually felt bad for Saints fans because they were walking underneath them, and I was like, that's like walking under pigeons.
Did anybody like
that are going to
do the
dump beer?
drop
And I don't know. They seem to be on better behaved. Like New Orleans, even if you're in a bad mood.
Yeah.
The music and stuff, it gets you in a festive mood. Yet at any moment, someone could slit your throat. It's really
It's really weirdly crimey there, right?
It's
I saw a dog fight when I was there. A random, like a pickup game. It wasn't even like a planned. It was just like we're all walking, and these two, and they went into a little pit. There was like 4 people watching.
Wait a minute. Went to a little. Where were you?
We went to the river during the day. We were there for Mardi Gras time. And
Okay.
We got up during the day and looked at the architecture and shit. And
So wait a minute. So you're looking at architecture, and you randomly walk into like a.
we went at the river, and then we saw this. There was like these little pits where you like walk down. It looks like, I guess, like barbecue pits, but like way bigger.
Right.
It's about the size of like half this patio.
I know that's something people grow up with, so they don't look at it.
I never
in
did.
a weird way, but that's just doing mean shit to animals is.
It was so brutal. It was so like bloody.
Did
It
you
was
stay? Did you
horrifying.
stay to the end? Or did you get up to beat the traffic?
No, we walked there. I stayed. They got up to leave in the 9th inning. They're only down 2, and they got a man on base. Let's just go.
Come on, traffic's fucking brutal. I'm out of here.
Wait, let me ask you a question. What was I going to say to you about something, but I forgot.
You're talking about
Oh,
New
do you ever
Orleans
do that
Eagles
with?
fans?
I want to get back to it, but do you ever? Somebody ever bring up a book? They're like, you ever read War and Peace, and you know you haven't read it, but you pretty much know, so you don't want to get into the fact that you haven't read it. So you just go, oh yeah. Just so they'll go ahead and make their point. You just act like you read the book.
Yeah, I'm familiar with it. That's what I'll say. The Art of War. That's one that gets brought up. Catcher
Yeah.
in the Rye, which I actually read.
I read that.
I had a period about 10, 15 years ago where I just started reading all these fucking books that I was sick of people bringing up. I read all of them, and I
Really?
can only remember like 2 or 3 of them. I liked Catcher in the Rye,
Catcher in the Rye was really good. I just read.
but if you told me it was Catcher on the Rye, I would believe that too. What else did I read? Count of Monte Cristo I liked. And I read the original like 800 page one, the tiny typing.
Is that the one where he gets locked up in a prison for years and comes back to get revenge?
Oh, yeah. And I
I
keep
saw
going,
that
but
movie.
my ADD was so bad, I had to I probably read, there was probably more like a 3,000-page book for me, the amount of times I had to go back and
You
just
go
keep
back.
rereading.
I did that. If you get halfway through a chapter and stop and then put it down for like 2 weeks, I'm like, I have no idea what's going on.
No, I just start reading, and something I'm reading reminds me of something that I'm doing or I've done, or just sends me off on a fantasy, and my eyes keep going left to right.
Oh, but you'll tune out?
reading, but I'm not like consciously reading, and then I'm just like, oh,
What
wait,
did I
that guy just died? What happened? And I got to go back.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I've done that.
It's awful.
What is that? Just lack of education? Or lack of
Focus.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but it's one of those things where it just means you're not good at it.
At reading.
You're not good at reading, but like you're good at reading a crowd.
because you can look at all this stuff while you're
you got
talking.
your head on a swivel and you can just jump around from subject to subject.
I tried to explain to some lady that I had to throw some lady out of my show recently, and it was like, and after she was bitching, you've done this before, but I was like, there's so much going on. If to hear you keep yapping, you have to decide whether you have to talk over them or shut them up.
Oh yeah,
there's like a bunch of stuff going on at once.
No, but with the ADD mind, you can kind of, it can sometimes disrupt what you're doing. Like, look at us. This is completely, we don't have anything. We don't even know what the fuck we're talking about.
Yeah.
We're keeping it going. Buses come up. Let's fuck with the buses.
Yeah.
If two guys here who read and wrote books were having a conversation, when we were listening, we'd both be asleep by now.
Yeah. They would stay on topic the whole time.
Yeah, they're not good at this shit.
I did that to Dean Del Rey yesterday.
Stephen King can just sit there, just
right.
keep a story going for... Like, if I ever had to write a book about my life, I don't think I could go beyond 11 pages. I'm not going to sit there and, like, it was a stormy evening.
Describe that situation.
I'm not doing that. I was born in Massachusetts and, stayed back in the first grade. And then high school, I just...
It'd be like Chunk trying to say his life story.
Yeah.
And Goonies, so like, tell us everything.
Oh, by the way, thank you for we're in an alliance now.
Yeah, I was just talking about that real quick.
Yeah, with the All Things Comedy Network, and I know right now if you go to All Things Comedy, it's just, all it has is our podcasts up there. That's
just pictures of our podcast.
Yeah.
With
yeah.
But we're going to put more stuff up there, right?
Yes, we are. We're going to start blogging. We're going to make video,
little videos,
all of that, and we're going to make it a destination site. But
we should do. Comedy Central wants me to do.
We had to pour the foundation.
Yeah, I'm calling it a co-op instead of a network.
Yeah, it's co-op. Yeah. We all own shares.
People working together. I don't know. It's more hippie-ish that way. It's just a cool.
I like it.
Bunch of good, funny people.
Yeah.
Saying, hey, these are all the good, funny people.
Some point there's going to be a bag of money. Someone's going to try to grab it and run it out the back door. It always happens. But all our hearts are in the right place.
I don't mind promoting people. I don't care about. I let the other people deal with money and shit, and I just want to like put out good things.
Yeah, I hear you. I
mean?
do that too, but no. But yeah, it'll happen. You'll get burned a couple, 2, 3 more times.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, like Al and you were talking about this, All Things Comedy, and they were like about the possible money, and I was like, yeah, great, but it'll be funny people though, right? Like, let's just make it all funny people. No,
that's the first thing. I'm actually looking at this here because I'm also supposed to hype that we're adding a couple more people.
Who else is coming?
What do we got here? Oh, Brendan Walsh, the hilarious Brendan Walsh with the Bone Zone, and Sam Tripoli with the naughty shows.
Oh, nice.
So we're just going to get a bunch of... and then we get some advertising on there, and then we keep the money instead of those fucking assholes.
Instead of everyone coming in, but let me have almost all of it.
Yeah. Okay, here's the deal. All right, I'm going to own your podcast.
Yeah.
Okay, but the
Go ahead, I'm listening.
But the exposure you're going to get off everything that you're creating is going to be incredible. Okay, then we'll get in business together, and then all the money's going to come to me, and then I'm going to tell you what we made.
Weird.
Okay?
Yeah, so I'll just take
and I'll
your
tell you
word
right
for it.
now, we're still not in profit. We had a lot of overhead.
What? But I thought I'm doing everything.
There was like $12,000 in whiteout.
Oh, really? Man, okay.
I love that when you get in business with something and you're paying all their business expenses. So then it becomes like, so what exactly is your fucking risk?
What are you adding?
Like when I had this deal with this CD company that was going to put my CD out back when they had these things called record stores, people. And I had to their initial thing was they printed like 4,000 CDs because my CD was coming out, the big release thing. And so right out of the gate, they gave me a bill for like $16,000, like $4 per CD, which I was already making on my own for 99 cents each. They already marked them up 400%, charged me, and then they charged me for...
Wait, for the jewel cases, for the nice look of it?
No, just to make money off of me while we were in business to sell them off to everybody else. Dude, it was right down the checklist, and I was paying for their office supplies. And
really?
Everything. They fucking charge you for everything, and it gets to the point of you're just sitting. The only way you can fucking lose money is if no one buys those initial 4,000 that I know you had printed up for probably less than 99 cents, considering you did so many. So the worst you can be out is probably about $3,000 if nobody buys one.
Right. If none of your work pays off.
Now, that's their risk. But other than that, it's just cash flow in.
And they say, no, fuck that. You pay even more. You pay $16,000
and then all the records of what CDs were sold in the stores all went to them. And if I wanted to find out what the fuck was going on, I had to pay somebody to audit them. And then this is how it works, where if they were off by less than $10,000, I had to pay for the audit. But if it was more than that, then they paid for the audit. So you basically gave them like, okay, we can skim like 10, probably 12 grand before anybody's going to fucking notice.
This is what they do for the fucking actors union too. If you do a commercial and they don't pay you enough, you have to go after them with SAG. And if they eventually say, okay, if SAG writes them and says, hey, you paid this guy for 2 spots and it's paid for a year straight, then they say, oh, okay, my fault, and they pay $75 in late fees. That's it. And they say, no harm, no foul, and they give you the fucking $8,000 they owe you or $10,000 they owe you.
No,
anyone who doesn't open their books, who won't let you see everything, is shady as fuck.
Yeah, that's like, okay, let's take it to the next level. As I don't understand how this state is broke, and they don't have to open their books. They get.
Look, we got to raise taxes. We're out of money. Well, show me that.
If you had money, if everybody was giving you money from their paycheck every fucking week, even if you had to pave the roads and keep the water going. I know that costs a lot of money, but everybody is giving you free money, just giving it to you.
Yeah.
How are you broke?
Yeah, what are your costs? You're just hiring more people. They're just hiring more people.
And you know what? There might be a reason, but why won't you open the books and just show me and be like, because this, and this? Like, what it really is because I think even as like a governor, like, what do they make a year? Like, fucking $30,000 a year?
Governors?
President makes like $400,000 a year. It's fucking ridiculous. They get paid less than an NFL ref.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
It's tax-free, though, isn't it? But yeah, they paid less than an NFL ref?
I'm just using it as an example. I don't fucking know. But this is the thing. So you're setting these guys up. They don't have enough money.
So, of course, they're going to take money.
They don't have enough money to run for office. So then I think these guys who pave the roads go, hey, I'll go buy one of your fucking $5,000 elect me again plates, chicken fajitas.
If you make sure.
Hook me up. And then what happens is the government.
And if everyone else had to see that and say, wait, where's it? Why are you paying $1 million for fucking a 2-block street?
Yeah, then they come in, there's the whole thing. They pay $40 for a hammer, $60 for each nail.
$400 for a toilet seat, wasn't that what it is? $600 for a toilet seat, something like that.
Didn't you overhear that in a bar too by someone who didn't look at the books? That's what I did.
Did that never happen? The $600 toilet seat?
I have no idea.
I don't know either. But the thing is, you just gotta fucking show it. I just went on a nice 2-3 minute run that all fucking made sense, and there's absolutely nothing. Not one book I read, no information, no facts to back up anything I just fucking said. That's just all stuff that I sort of watched on a TV or overheard in a bar. Yeah.
But my gut's telling me that I think it's true.
It's true, yeah. But you got to believe some of those things. Somebody at some point read something and passed it down to the idiots at bars.
And then said it.
Yeah.
No, because if I don't believe that, then all my brain's just me going, you're full of shit. You're full of shit on a loop.
There's something up with it. It was the same thing with these podcast networks. When they don't want to fucking show you these stuff. It's like you're doing something shady. Just show me. Just show me that you're not making money. And
they all want to.
It's like the Major League Baseball owners.
No, I feel bad for people who are now going to partner up. Like, I feel like what we did was basically, as artists, if you can call what we do our shit and dick jokes. Is we basically somehow you ran off the plantation. So now we're sitting there, out of breath. We don't know what the fuck to do. We know we have something of value, but we don't know what the fuck to do with it.
Hey, we could pick our own cotton.
Yeah.
And that guy knows how to make cotton shirts. Yeah. Let's just get him.
But what happens is people get scared, and then they go, but I don't know what to do. And then they run back to the plantation, and they get involved in another one of those behind-the-music fucking deals where someone owns your show. So how I look at it is I'm learning this shit. As I go, and I know in the short run I'm fucking myself, and I might even in the long run fuck myself over. But the fact that nobody else owns the stupid podcast that I do, like, it would just fucking bother me.
You roll out of bed and just do it, right? The Monday morning podcast, you just roll out of bed and do it.
Yeah,
you do it in bed sometimes, I'm sure, or whatever. Just
no. Sometimes I'm laying in bed, but I mean, I woke up, I had breakfast, I got the brain going.
Okay, and then you record them. But like, why should anyone take any of that? Right, it's just because you don't know how to do everything. But once you realize, I can learn this.
Yeah. Well, why we just treat it like a radio station? Let's just go hire our Herb Tarlick, have that person. Why can't we fucking do that? They're all like, well, I know some people and blah. It's like, no, you don't.
They always talk about the plans they're going to do, too.
They're going to.
Here's what I'm going to talk to. I have access to this and this.
Oh, we're coming off bitter. This is really going bitter.
Well, no, fuck it. I've heard the same story so many times. I've heard the same story where it's like, eventually it's like, you're just telling me something you're not doing yet. Right. You're telling me something you're planning on doing. Didn't they go to you and Al and offer you a bunch of money?
Who?
Whoever.
I love how that rumor's already started.
Al told me something.
Didn't they do that?
Okay, you guys were taking, here's what I heard. You guys were taking meetings.
Oh, no, this is what it was. No, about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, we tried to start I've tried to start so many things. Maybe something else. No, it was this thing. We tried to start this thing. So we wanted someone to build the site and all that type of thing. And we got, so we went out, took a meeting with a couple of sharks. They told us all the stuff that they were going to do. And the proposal that they came back was, we came to them with the idea and we just wanted them to build the site. And they wanted to sort of partner up. So the first offer that they pushed across the table was that they were going to own 90% and we were going to own 10%. And we were like, what? And they were just like...
You're like, wait, we get 10?
And their justification was like, yeah, because, if we sell it someday, you guys can keep doing comedy and, what about us? It's like, dude, I want to be sitting on the yacht next to you. You think I want to go to fucking the Quad Cities for the rest of my life? I'll go there, but only if I want to. I don't want to have to. So we took it all the way to the point of just saying, how about 50-50?
Yeah.
And the best they came back with was like 25 us, 75 them, and then we just said no, and their jaws were on the ground. They couldn't believe it.
They couldn't believe how you wouldn't want to do that.
Yeah, this is when you know that you got them. Is they go, but this is the standard deal.
Oh yeah.
They're basically putting a dick in your ass or telling you that they want to, and you're like, dude, what the fuck? You're gonna rape me? And they go, but no, this is standard procedure. And then you're supposed to be like, it's standard. Oh, okay then.
Instead of rethinking stuff.
Oh yeah, this is happening to everybody. Dude, how many fucking bus tours are there out here?
They make a lot of money in that. Those maps used to make a lot of money too.
There's always a guy jogging shirtless down the street,
with high striped knee socks.
Like Stallone is still making movies,
hoping to pick him up.
and he needs a bad guy to beat up.
An action star. Come on. How many people have you seen in this town just hoping for that chance? Just waiting, looking like I'm waiting for someone to pick me up and make me a star.
I actually feel unbelievably lucky that I chose to be a comedian because I swear to God, I got a couple of residual checks.
Yeah.
I got one. One was like it's like $10.32.
Oh yeah.
Another one was 11 something. Another was 30. It's like, why don't you just come over here and just slap me in the face and just throw some change on the ground? It's like the fact that you got to then go down to the bank with like a $10.32 check. And I'd like to get a sandwich and a Coke. Can I cash this? Oh, we got to wait 3 days for this to clear. Thank God I have my shit and dick joke money.
Yeah. You're $15 nightly.
No, I don't get when that stuff happens, I understand why the people on Seinfeld wanted to try and get as much money as they could. Because even if you made like $1 million an episode, right? If you made $1 million an episode, it plays again, and then it's half, it's $500,000. And then it's weird. And then like 3 months it's
nothing.
It's $10.32. Like I don't know how it is. And I know what people saying, well, you just made $1.5 million. I'm telling you,
what
it's like, what was that book, The K, or the Old Man in the Sea?
Yeah,
when he's got that giant fucking tuna and he's trying to get it back, and those sharks just keep taking bites out of it. And by the time you come back, he just got the skeleton and some fish lips. That's what happens.
That's what's left for you.
Well, I think when you get as famous as those fucking people do, you got to be living behind a wall, don't you?
What do you mean? So no one can see you?
Because people will just walk up to your house.
Yeah. My friend went up to, he knew where Jordan lived, and he stole his mail. He stole a piece of a bill from him or something in Chicago.
Does it literally say Michael Jordan on it?
Yeah, I was so excited about it.
I would think that he would be so famous that somebody would be in the mail and like, you think it's the same guy? Like, there can't be mail out there that says Mel Gibson on it, right?
There has to be. No, maybe. Doesn't he have anything in his name? Not a cable bill. That probably goes all to his people.
It's got to be, or one of those awful gold diggers that he got with.
Oh, yeah. Send him a letter.
Yeah. Beyond his feelings on race and religion, the poor bastard.
Beyond that. Beyond being incredibly wealthy and being perhaps a holdover Nazi from the original Nazis.
He had to get rid of his Laker tickets.
It's tough to feel bad for people. Wait, didn't they then offer you something like, okay, how about this? How about we just give you guys a couple $100,000 a piece?
No, that never happened.
And then a network of people makes nothing.
That's the lies. That's the
lies? I'm hearing something like this from Al, though. It was something along. It wasn't basic rumor. It was something from Al.
I don't know what was that. We can't confirm or deny it, so we probably shouldn't be saying on that. You know, maybe that's already happening. Maybe that deal already went down.
Selling out is happening?
Because this is the first time I'm hearing of it.
What I heard was, regardless of the deal, you laughed in their face and you said, fuck off. And you were just like, Al said he was trying to be like...
No, they might have come back. I don't think they came back with money like that, but they came back with like... You know, it was the sell your soul deal.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys are doing something awesome. Okay, here's the deal. We're going to own it, and we'll give you this one-time payment. You can go fuck yourself. That's like, I don't know. I studied those behind the musics when I watched them. Like, I didn't watch those
to see what the deals were.
You know, people like to watch somebody fall off. I hate seeing that shit. I don't like watching people bomb. I actually can't watch comedians on late night talk shows. It makes me nervous.
Why? Because it's too much pressure.
Because one slip the wrong way, it just feels like it's going to go off the rails. So, yeah, those people who get business managers.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't even know what a bill is. People who say that shit, it's like, dude, so you signed away your power of attorney. Somebody
just to one guy.
Somebody can write your name on checks off of your account.
What do you do? Everything yourself? You're way too busy
everything
for that.
myself. What? I write a check? How long does that take? And put a stamp on it and go and fucking...
I can't keep track of everything now. My smog, it's always like late. Shit like that's always like late. I can't I'm not organized.
They literally bring the bill to your fucking apartment.
Yeah, they do.
What is the problem? Yeah, you just don't like dealing with it. That's what it is.
I'm just messy. Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah,
I see it. I'm like, I'll pay this later. And then a month goes by and I forget about it.
No, because you know what I learned? If you want to be the man, I thought, well, if you're the man, then you could just sit there chomping on a cigar all day getting blown. It's like, no, you have to fucking micromanage everything.
Yeah.
Like, you know what's priceless is that person you tell them one time and they actually go out and fucking do it. If you're one of those people, listen to this, you will always have a job. But what happens is they're the shit, and they just keep moving up. But that person, you got to tell them 50 fucking times, they'll stay with you forever because they can't get another job because they're
keep
a fucking moron.
Up slightly, and then you owe them, like, I know this guy. I've used him for a while.
They're a moron. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
The lifer.
Here's what I've learned about humans
This is the
recently.
most business...
I know. I'll try to get off it.
No, actually, I think it's probably interesting to some people.
And by the way, this is what we're talking about other comedians. If anybody wants to hear how to do this podcast and everything I do on it, go to the end of the second Ralphie May episode, and I just break down everything, like all the equipment you need and everything you need to do to make
How's
your own
Ralphie
podcast.
doing?
He's not that well. He's in. He had that attack, that physical attack.
We probably shouldn't talk about this either.
He's open about it too.
Oh, he is.
Yeah.
Come on, Ralphie.
Yeah, get back.
Come
he's
on.
He's just unhealthy. That's all. But he's trying to get there.
Just start eating kale. Eventually, you'll crave it.
Do you eat that
you
stuff?
Do.
I do.
Dude, if you saw what I ate today, actually, if you saw what I ate the last 4 fucking days and drank, you would understand why.
You have to eat kale once in a while?
No. This morning, what have I had? I had an apple, and then I made a giant salad.
Really?
With no dressing.
Really?
Dude, hardcore.
You ever go to Whole Foods?
I had a giant glass of water with lemon juice in it to try to cleanse my liver. Dude, I was so fucking hammered at that LSU game. I had to buy 3 programs because I kept buying them and just setting them down. I already do that when I'm sober. Like, I'm that classic guy where my phone always seems to be on vibrate. I put it on vibrate for this, obviously. And I'll just be in my house, and I'll set it in the weirdest place ever.
And then never find it.
Because my brain's like thinking of 50 other things that don't mean shit. And I'll literally walk into my closet to get a T-shirt, and I'll set it down
on the top shelf of an inside closet,
or like inside a shoebox or something. And then I won't be able to find it for like half the day, and then I'm losing my shit. And then my girl will be just like, why don't you just have a specific spot? That's like, I can't do it. Jesus, there are a lot of buses out here.
Yeah, Simpsons ride. Universal Studios.
Dude, do any Americans go on that Starline sightseeing thing? Not saying
Midwesterners do.
I know it's a melting pot here in America, but
there's definitely some rednecks.
Those people look authentic. Everybody over here is a mutt. Half this, half that. Those people look. That's purebred. That's Westminster fucking. They
have that specific color of grayish brown.
Absolutely.
That only
And they all probably have the temperament of like a fucking Dalmatian.
What does that mean? Just get crazy?
I guess they got issues. Purebred dogs have, because they're all banging.
Because they're all crazy, right?
Yeah.
They're all like half retarded.
Yeah, that's why if you get like a group of people and they're just on like a little island.
Yeah.
You know, I guess technically everything's an island.
Yeah, but like a small amount of people,
small
so not
amount,
enough new genes.
Yeah, it's like you just keep planting in the same dirt.
I heard if you
Once
go to
again, that's just completely
made up.
not made up, just something that somebody said, and I gave him 100%. 100%. Thank you for coming by. Please come by later. We have comedy shows 7 days a week.
Here's what I get with like people like business managers and stuff. This is what I look at politics the same way. Is I realize that people are just people. They're just crooked. You know, they're able to be bought. And so then it's like when I see those elections and stuff, I'm like, "Wow, you're just some dude."
You know what? You know why that is?
You don't have control, and if you do, you're gonna fuck it up too.
I was just going to make up some more shit. You know why that is? I literally thought of something. I was just saying, you know why it is, and then I really
You
like.
realize it was just
I
not
am
real.
having this clarity in my life where I'm just realizing just how completely and
of shit.
utterly full of shit I am. It's like the amount of shit that I say during the course of the day.
Most of my information about law gets from like Law and Order shows like that. Almost all, like almost entirely.
That's the only reason why I know my rights is I've watched
that.
enough cop shows, and I just watched 21 Jump Street where the dude did know him, so they kept going over him, and I had to refresh.
I know my rights. I just watched an old episode of 21
Yeah.
Jump Street.
No,
officer.
the remake of the movie.
Oh, really? I think that was good.
It was actually surprisingly good. I was like, I mean, I know, like, you know, the actors in it are funny, but, you know, I'm just saying this is a pretty flimsy fucking idea that the jump-off point is pretty flimsy. But what they did was they did
Sent some kids back to high school.
Yeah.
Sent some like young-looking cops back
which
to high
is
school.
in the same gene pool as, you know, that you and your dad wish to be each other, and then you switch.
Yeah. I have a
And
joke about that where it's like the only thing the guy does when he goes back to high school is try to become more popular or whatever than he was. They never
Well,
try to fuck high school chicks.
Yeah, because you can't.
But that's what they would do.
You can't. I know they would, but you can't address that.
Because it seems creepy.
Yeah, it is creepy.
But if you have a 17-year-old body, why wouldn't you try to fuck
17-year-old
17-year-old
body,
girls?
and then you got all 40 years of game between
Yeah.
your ears. You just tear through all this shit.
You would just capitalize on the opportunities that you had back
Dude,
then
you'd
that you
fuck
didn't
a
know.
teacher.
You would fuck a teacher. Yeah.
You would. You'd know what bottle of wine to get.
You could pick up their insecurities, see if
Yeah.
they're lonely.
Yeah, you'd look at their shoes. You'd figure out what they were into.
You'd be like, oh, it's all scuffed up. She doesn't take care of herself. All right, I know how to treat this
Now, I
one.
was thinking more if they have just something that's a little too bedazzled. You could tell that they were a freak. Maybe if they wear, you know, a scarf, she maybe likes to be tied up or be choked. You know, all that type of shit.
Yeah. Do you know teachers you would go back and like try to bone? Do you remember certain teachers?
Well, not now. They're like 80.
No, but if you go back in time, that'd be pretty
I'm a
gross.
fucking old man. I'm older than they were when they taught me. No, there was there was always one a year. You just had a
Yeah.
fucking raging hard on for.
Mrs. Farber was my math teacher in like 5th grade. She was wearing big boobs, low cut, like button down shirt. She would lean over to help
You filthy whore.
you. Yeah.
God bless
Yeah.
you. No. I know which ones, and I still remember their names, but I'm not going to name their names out of
'Cause they're
respect for my
grandmothers now.
family crest and their reputation.
But you really don't watch the elections at all?
No.
You just don't bother. I didn't either.
I can
I
understand,
walked in
like,
here and didn't even glance at the TV. I said, I'm going to my spot. I don't give a shit.
Yeah. No, I don't want to. I don't want to watch. Like, first of all, I couldn't deal with the anxiety of it. Like, I have this weird thing
Mm-hmm.
where, like, I am a Democrat, but I'm not a liberal. Like, I get, like, so fucking annoyed with the ridiculous level of left that people are here in L.A. It's worse than New York City. It's just
Oh, it's way worse than New York City.
Dude, it's like Fox News to the left, where it's just, you're just like, dude, like really? It's insane. Insanely left.
What do you mean, like that they can't look at anything on their side as being problematic?
They'll make, hey, how are you?
Hi.
How you doing? They'll make,
Super fucking hot girls in tank tops in November.
they'll
Love
make,
LA. Go ahead.
they just make those fucking statements about, like, Republicans
Well, like
are all
Janine
evil.
Garofalo, yeah, which is
they're
like all those Tea Party
evil.
people are racist. Like all of them, and she was like, yes, every one. And you're like, come on, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know anything about the Tea Party.
Yeah, but,
other
like, all
than
Republicans are
it was
evil.
a
It's
big monologue joke there for a minute. I did recognize that.
You were about to.
I know. I didn't. I don't really pay attention to that. But look, the thing I think Mitt Romney fucked up on was, like, he's still going. He's still doing that. That super conservative where you have, like, everything you're saying making sense, but then you still have that, and we should stone people if they're a witch.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, at some point,
The
it's-
holdover things.
yeah, like those things, like I don't. Okay, here's the thing. Like, I'm on the left, but I don't think because you make more fucking money that you should pay more. Like you really
More
have
percentage,
to, yeah. Like I've never heard a justification for that unless you were stealing money.
Right. Other than fuck those rich people.
If you're just good and you're successful at stuff, but
well, that's what Obama said.
But I also think,
that's what Obama said. He said he look at someone like Steve Jobs, who whatever you feel about him, but
right.
He was like he invented like 2 or 3 of the biggest inventions of the last 20 years. Like he should make money. That
I think
guy
he had
should
people
be rich.
working for him, or they came to them with the inventions, and he did I own it,
yeah.
and I'm adding to the phone. He was one of those guys.
But his company was responsible,
yeah,
for it. So it's like they should get rewarded. That company and everyone who works should get rewarded for that.
I mean, there's that, and then there's also like these. Dude, it's too big. It's too fucking big. I don't think that you should like.
What's too big?
Okay, so he should be rewarded because he's doing that. And then on the other side, you read that story where they had a fucking sweatshop and people are trying to leap to their goddamn deaths. That's the other side of the thing. And then they do that whole, well, in order to compete in the global economy. Dude, you know what it is?
You're like, what about all your profits? How about take some of those down?
It's too... Well, they always say that. Well, if we don't have a child make it, a sneaker's going to be $80,000. It's like, it won't be. I've been around long enough.
American Apparel, it just costs a little bit extra.
Yeah.
I pay an extra $1 a shirt for my tour shirts.
No, but dude, when I was a kid, we still had enough. Like factories were just starting to leave, and there was no $900 fucking polo shirt. There wasn't. It's bullshit.
Yeah, you're
it's
right.
Bullshit. And then they always say, well, the stock investors, the investors demand it. It's like their idea of they demand it is by that if you sell their stock, I think, because I own stock. I've never called up. Let me tell you, sons of bitches, something. You know, step it up. I'm out of here. I've never done that. I wouldn't even know. I wouldn't even know how to do that. But like, this is my thing. Like, I think, I think you're nuts if you don't own a gun. Even though I don't own one yet, I want to.
Why? Because too much trust in people.
Look, like the aftermath of the hurricane back east. You see what goes down.
Yeah.
Okay, when you're just totally invested in the deal and you're just sitting there like a little baby, like the deal feeds me and I'm totally part of the deal. When shit goes down, everybody's cool for about 2-3 days, and then it starts to go caveman.
Yeah.
When it goes caveman, if you're like me, you haven't taken any martial arts class or not enough of them.
Then you're like, fuck, what am I going to do now?
Yeah, like I know as much martial arts as I know Spanish.
Every
Same
good
thing.
apocalyptic book. You ever read The Road? You should read The Road if you want to read a book. Fuck
Dude, I'm already paranoid enough.
Oh, yeah. All right, good. Then don't read it. But, like, people become animals. Like, if you take away society and cops and everything like that, people will just become what they normally would be.
You have to take, because it becomes a fear, becomes fight or flight, and
don't trust anyone else.
Yeah, and everyone who runs in the beginning, they get whacked, and then it's just who's going to start running shit like jail. It's basically. Once again, I've never lived through an apocalypse, but
I feel like that would happen.
Here.
I feel like human nature would make that happen. I think that's why those politicians are just doing the same thing, because they're just like, in order for me to get paid this job and be able to have speaking gigs later or change the laws, I need to say to them everything they want to hear and just lie in order to get that job, and then I can deal with what I need to.
Yeah, and that totally makes sense to me. But if you say that to people, they think you're like a conspiracy theorist or whatever. Like, I don't look. One of the great things I ever heard that really calmed down the rhetoric in my head was actually Mark Cuban from the Dallas Mavericks.
One of the best owners in sports.
And he was talking about, those people, get rid of the Fed, blah, 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 blah. And then he was like, okay, all right, and then what? What is your solution?
Right.
And I realized that I had no solution. So I was going to do basically whack Saddam, and then what? I don't know. We make a McDonald's and everybody starts living like us. Fuck, what do we do now?
Vacuum power.
Yeah, and then it's like, what do you do now? So now it's like you got the thing that you know. I don't know. This conversation is so beyond.
I'm just getting to this point in my life now
what
where
I've read.
I'm starting to like distrust people, like the TSA and stuff. I'm like, who are you? Why do you have this control over me?
I don't go through those.
No, I don't
those
either.
Machines. And then the TSA guy who says they're safe. Oh, really? Really? They're not a scientist? Really?
Yeah,
they're
exactly.
Just telling you what they told you to tell me.
And you know who did the scanners? Do you know who owns that company?
The devil?
No, the guy who used to run the TSA. Who said, you should buy we need scanners. Really? Yeah. Oh, and I happen to have a company that makes scanners. Really?
Good
Are
for
they
him.
safe?
Yeah, they're safe.
Yeah, good for him. You know what? And he justifies
And we're all taking
it.
that guy's word for it.
And he justifies it by saying that if I didn't do it, somebody else would. And I just took it from you that what you just said was true. And now we're talking about it.
Yeah.
This is why there's no solution.
But the problem is I distrust everything. But then you say it, and then nothing gets done. Though you're not solving anything.
No.
Like, how do you stop terrorists from boarding planes? Like, I don't know.
No, I don't know. Well, I mean, you probably
Lock the fucking cockpit door, right? Wasn't that enough?
No, I would do what Israel does.
Check everybody.
Israel, like over there,
LL.
like they don't. Like the plane is never. There's no like at night. There's like people sitting in cars, just standing there. There's people walking around. Like the plane, it's so impossible. It's not even attempted. Like they haven't had a hijacking. I think since like
They've
the early
never had an
70s.
LL hijacking.
Now that's something I actually saw in 60 Minutes, but I don't remember how many years it's been, or if someone was in a car, or if someone was walking around. I don't remember any of that, but I do remember that it was being watched.
The worst thing that ever happened to LL was that the place at LAX was held. Somebody pulled out a gun.
Jesus Christ, look at this group of nurses here that just completely doesn't want...
Fat. Where are you guys from? Oh.
They're all plugged in. Yeah, I was going to say, you know what, they can't hear us right now? I don't think one of them is going to come out. They just don't have that look.
At least one of them.
They looked annoyed when you handed the business card.
That's a human talking, though. That's a real person who's talking. Oh, you're listening to that person.
Yeah.
Okay.
There we go.
That's fair.
Okay, now the guy driving the van, I guarantee you,
What?
he probably did like fucking 2 episodes of Hardcastle and McCormick. Probably when he was like 15.
Do you do that? I watch movies. I just watched Hard to Kill. Remember that one with Steven Seagal? They killed his family. The Jamaicans were the bad guys.
Oh, yeah. That's always the greatest way to start. You wish you were this dude.
Yeah.
You know those movies like all those movies that you wish that you were that much of a badass. It always starts off with
There was a holdup at a convenience store, and he just happens to be there.
and he was just a family man.
and
taking
he
him to
fucking
Wally World,
knocked
right?
everybody off. Yeah,
Right.
But there was a guy behind the counter, and he was like, "Dude, thank you so much for helping me." It was like 5 lines, and I was like, "That was this guy's big break."
Yeah.
In Hollywood, you ever watch Small Parts like that?
No, I
like
used
what
to-
happened to him.
I used to do when I lived with Robert Kelly.
Yeah.
Lived with him in New York. He said that shit to me one time, and I was like depressed for like a good 4 hours.
Over the idea that like his big break
Yeah.
wouldn't turn out to be anything.
Oh, dude, me and Bobby, we were living like fucking animals, man.
You guys live together?
Yeah, we lived in this railroad apartment that had a walk-through bedroom, and us
What's a
two,
walk through a bedroom?
like a railroad apartment. It's exactly like a railroad. Like if you're walking through a train, that's how the rooms are set up.
Okay.
So there was like a bedroom, and then the next was really like a walk-in closet kind of space.
Yeah.
But there was enough room to put like a single bed. So
the
there was a
closet.
bedroom, and then there was a living room, and then the bathroom, and then the kitchen, all in a straight fucking line. So it's called a walk-through because your roommate has to walk
Go to
through your bedroom.
to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
So if you're with some girl, they have to either wait or just go through.
Absolutely. We all walked in on each other.
Sorry. And
Yeah,
just keep
yeah,
going.
yeah. Although nobody ever walked on me when I was banging a girl. And I don't think I ever walked in on Bobby either. But no, the other guy would always. Because I knew if the door was closed, Bob was in there banging someone.
Otherwise, the door would be open.
Yeah, and I used to I always had away games. So I was always just like, listen, I got to walk through a bedroom, and I'm fucking living with 2 other people. So the odds of somebody coming in, you know. So
you just try to fuck over there.
No, so then I would go over to there. They're awful fucking places. I used
Yeah.
to date a girl, like her bedroom was this room that had like French doors that closed that were like glass.
Yeah.
And we were sort of covered. We had to like fuck under the spreads. Dude, New York is brutal. It's brutal. Like, I don't know why people...
thinking of moving
I don't
there.
know why people live there beyond a certain age. It's for young people. Because it's exciting.
In Manhattan, you mean?
Yeah, because,
Yeah.
dude, unless you have a fucking bankroll the size of a fucking spare
Like
tire.
Woody Allen, you can buy another apartment and make him
who
one.
actually did it. I did a gig in his old fucking brownstone that he had that was right on fucking Fifth Ave in Central Park right there, dude. Like he actually this dude was a fucking mansion.
Yeah.
Like Bloomberg shit. Like this is how much money that dude made. Making his own fucking movies, doing all that basically. Right? They had in the basement areas where the help lived, and there was a kitchen upstairs, but downstairs, as if the help was making the dinner, They made it down there.
Really?
Yeah.
Separate kitchen.
Yeah, downstairs. Which I got to be
Wow.
honest with you, I totally understand.
Yeah, get out of here.
Yeah, because if you ever had company over, even if it's a relative, after a while, get the fuck out of here. I want to sit here scratching my balls. I don't want you walking through.
Come clean later.
Yeah.
I'm paying you just to get out of here.
Yeah,
Just
get
to
out of here.
Make it easier for me.
Bring me shit and leave if you're going to have it. Yeah.
I can't. Whenever I have like a drive, if some club sends me a driver to like take me from the airport home, I always feel obligated to talk to them.
Oh,
And
you
like
did-
maybe sit in the front unless I like. I'm like.
to show how down to earth you
I
are.
don't. Yeah, I feel. I feel so bad about it. Like you shouldn't
Why
be
should you feel
driving me.
bad?
I don't. It just feels wrong.
You don't feel worthy. You got low self-esteem,
Yeah,
like
maybe
most
that's it.
comedians.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. No, look, dude, you just got on a fucking plane, sitting there with your knees in your chest. If
Yeah.
you're lucky enough to get a driver, fucking enjoy it. They offer you water, take it, then shoot the shit with them. Learn a little bit about the
But
city.
the city, yeah.
Yeah, have a good time.
That, or if they try to take my bags when I get out of the cab or the car, like at the hotel. I was
Yeah,
like,
I always do.
no, don't. Come on, I can take. Because then also, I don't know what the tip later. Is it like $5 when they take it up to your
That's always
room?
weird when they pull up and then somebody he goes to take and the other guy goes to hand it off to him and then you fucking
Yeah.
you go broke just tipping people going in. Then I always think of Jackie Gleason who used to walk around dropping hundreds in everybody's hands.
Just to everybody.
Yeah. Here you go, pal. Didn't know anybody's name. I just thought that was Joe DeRosa.
Just walking on the street now, yeah. So
That's L.A. Joe DeRosa.
Oh, Joe, yeah.
Yeah.
He kept thinking of moving here, didn't he?
Joe?
Yeah.
Yeah, but his livelihood kept him back east.
Because why he makes all his money in New York.
No, that was an inside joke for people who listen to Opie and Anthony. He got in an argument one time with this fucking DJ.
Yeah.
So the DJ wants to, like, Joe had made fun of the guy.
Yeah.
So the guy wants to get him back. So what does he say? I don't think you're funny. And DeRosa always takes the bait. So he gets in this big fucking debate about whether, who gives a fuck if one guy doesn't
Thinks
like
you're funny. It's
Yeah,
okay.
every night, even if you have a good set, there's going to be at least 5 people in the crowd don't
If
fucking
you have a
like you.
95% approval
Right.
rating, there's going to be some people who
Right.
think you suck. But it's
So
still good.
Joe couldn't handle that this guy kept trashing what he did for a living. So he kept going, you're attacking my livelihood. He kept saying livelihood. It was much funnier when he was doing it.
And like, what livelihood? The workout sets at the cellar? What livelihood are you talking about? $19 you're making nightly? What exactly are you saying?
No, it was everything that I love and hate about Joe. I don't hate, just get frustrated with them.
That he won't let shit like that just
Well,
go?
it's funny because you're watching him take the bait, but then it's like I'm rooting for him because he's actually losing to a DJ.
I wish I knew that guy a little better, DeRosa.
Droza?
Yeah.
Oh, he's a riot.
I'm like friendly with him, but I don't ever like know him. I got to know like Metzger and Jay Okerson, but never DeRosa.
Oh, yeah, no, Joe's a good guy. Now we got 2 tour buses here.
Oh, they're
You got
piled
the
up.
London bus. Do they actually buy those from London, or do they just have them made over here, a
No,
cheaper
they haven't
American
made.
version?
There's no fucking way.
They don't fly them over
Double-decker
here?
Things.
They don't have them shipped over?
Remember when
Well, why not? I mean, you buy a Mercedes, that's from Germany.
remember the
Somebody's going to
You said
write,
they have a whole,
actually,
like, ship
they
of
made in Rhode
double-decker
Island.
buses. in that guy from the Beatles, the vegan guy, whatever his name is, the one that's still alive.
Oh, Paul McCartney.
Yeah, and he's all into green and everything. So he bought this hybrid car, this fully electric car from India, and to save gas and stuff. But then they shipped it over to him in a private helicopter, just like one. And he was like, that costs so much fuel.
Yeah. Oh, he said that?
Yeah, it was like, you just ruined everything I try to make by having an electric car.
I thought he was doing it. Yeah, I got to tell you, during that hurricane, that Chevy Volt looked pretty good.
Yeah, right? All the lines just whip right past that.
Then you need a generator. It's just somehow, what you got to do is if you can stay, you got to stay. And then you got to hide that you have like a generator. If you have all the supplies, people can't know that you have the supplies.
No, you can't tell anyone.
No. So I was talking about that on Chelsea Peretti's podcast, where even if your lights work at night, you got to put up the front. You got to go candlelight.
Oh, yeah.
As everybody's withering away, and you still got a pot belly going. I know, it's crazy, right? I feel
I must be distended, my
it's
belly.
just distended, exactly. There you go. See,
That's a
you
good
read
word.
some stuff. Distended.
That's still I have from college. That's because I used to make fun of Ethiopia
Yeah.
a lot.
How do you have a distended belly and a double chin?
That doesn't seem possible to get
that's
it.
the next level. Everything starts to distend.
I like how they justify that on Lost, where that guy Hurley was like not losing weight, even though he's on this island with no food for like 6 months. You're like, how come that guy's still fat? But they worked in the storylines. Like, no, there's a secret stash of food that he's finding and hoarding for himself.
That poor bastard. You know how much extra he probably ate that week when they came up with that storyline?
He's like, so I don't have to lose anything?
No, because he's probably like everybody. Like he knows everybody knows, but now he knows they know.
They're making a storyline about his fat.
Yeah, I actually ran into him the other day. I walked in some place to get something to eat, and I saw him sitting there.
Just say anything to him?
No, because I never watched the show, and
It's not worth it. The last season was so fucking shitty. It ruined everything.
Yeah, I didn't. Somebody had a great joke about that, where people were just saying, like, dude, it's the last thing. You gotta watch. You gotta get caught up. And it's like, dude, these are hour-long episodes. You're telling me I have to basically spend like 600 fucking hours
to get caught up on a thing that with no payoff. Definitely do not watch Lost. If you haven't got into it yet, don't watch it. It's so shitty. It's such a shitty payoff. It makes you feel just used.
Oh,
it's like finding out your girlfriend was cheating on you the whole time.
Dude, that's a reoccurring theme in your life about being. Were you used as a child?
Were I what?
You fucked over? Did you feel used?
What do you mean, cheating?
Like
and
your
stuff?
parents had you just because they wanted something cute for a couple of years and they ignored you?
No, they were
I
good
feel
parents.
used. You just wanted me to go goo goo gaga, mama dada, and that was it.
No, they were
Grew
good.
a fucking beard in third grade. Already started becoming a rebel.
I didn't. When I lost my religion, that happened. I was just like, I just rethought everything, and was like, oh, what are we doing that for? I got mad when they expected me to date Jewish girls that were cunty, rather than some nice, like like a young Mother Teresa. They would rather me not date.
Oh, they didn't know.
I'm like, that doesn't make any.
So why don't you just pick a sweetheart Jewish girl?
Find me one. They're all entitled. They're all their dads all tell them they're princesses, and then they believe it. Whatever.
No, that's all right. I mean, that's just a whole nother world.
Yeah. I have a hatred for Jews that I can only be from within. It's like I still love them.
Dude, fucking layup. Mel Gibson is a guest. You guys could just be sitting there going, I know, right? I know, right? Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. That guy, Jerry Rocha, used to have a joke about that.
That's one of my favorite jokes ever.
Jerry Rocha's joke?
Jerry joke.
Yeah.
I don't want to burn it, but that's one of I fucking love that joke.
I'll put it on the website. That's what I'll do. I'll just find a clip of it and put it on the website.
I'm trying to think what the punchline was.
It's this. It's my uncle is too racist to tell racist jokes to. Because you start off, you tell him a joke, and he just goes, I know, right?
And did I just say that?
What?
Was it when I was just imitating Mel Gibson, I just said, I know, right?
I don't know, maybe.
See, that's why I don't watch fucking comedians' acts.
Because you're afraid?
Because it seeps in like, oh, that fits to this.
You just unlock something in your brain, like, oh, that's a good thing.
I mean, like the idea to have him here.
Yeah.
That's why you can't do it. Because when you're on stage and you're riffing and all, like, this shit comes up like that.
Yeah, it comes from somewhere.
Yeah, it comes from somewhere.
From a TV show you watched when you were little, some phrase somebody used when you were in the 80s.
Something you and your friends say.
Yeah.
Something your dad said. And then if you have just like hours and
what
hours.
If it's some guy on that stage said it, and that's where I'm getting it from. I don't label everything.
See, I'm glad you brought that up, because if you listen to this podcast, he would be like, that was the same topic, and then he used my punchline. And I would have been like, oh, did I?
Oh, sorry. All right, let's get it.
Well, you know what it was, too, is because then I also went around and I quoted that joke.
Yeah.
To like everybody, because I fucking.
It's fucking awesome. It's a great joke.
I loved it. And the way he acts it out, I loved it. And it was one of those jokes that was so well written. You know what I mean? That you could tell it. It wasn't like you had to be there, like that thing I told like 5 minutes ago about DeRosa, right?
Oh, yeah.
So.
Stop saying stuff on podcasts.
Yeah, and then you say it 4 or 5 times and it's fucking in there.
Yeah. I know what you mean. I get scared of it. Somebody just told me that some Dane Cook bit from like 10, 15 years ago. And I was like, oh, I'm doing that same exact thing. I got to rewrite that joke before I record it.
No, but the difference is that you then go, oh, okay, I got to rewrite the joke, or I got to drop it, or whatever. Come up with a different angle. Yeah. Well, if you don't hear about it, then you don't fucking. There's no way for you to know everybody's shit.
Yeah.
But if somebody comes up to you, like, throughout my career, someone say, hey, just let you know, someone has a joke like that. Immediately, fucking dropped it. The only time I didn't. It's hilarious.
I like to go see it because some people say it's too close.
Me and Greg Giraldo had a bit about that. Remember show MTV Cribs?
Yeah.
And the logical first thought you have when you watch it is
look at my shitty place.
Look at all the shit I have, and then here I am sleeping on a futon, yada yada yada. So we essentially had the same bit. And one night I was doing it at the Cellar, and Greg, rest his soul, came in and he said, "Hey Bill, just let you know I got one like that." It was a really bad period in my life where I just was traveling a lot. When I travel a lot, like the jokes slow down, and I was just like, fuck, I'll drop it. He goes, no, I'll drop it. No. Yours is better. I go, no, fuck that. You keep it. And we kind of had this thing, and then we just sit, and he goes, how about we just both do it on the road? And I laughed, thinking in my head, I'm going to drop it. And I go, yeah, all right, whatever. I needed the time. I needed that extra 5. So we say that thing. So then we never talk about it again. We never do the bit again in the city. But then we both get half hours for Comedy Central, and we both do the joke. And mine came out first, so then somebody texts me, just to let you know, Greg Giraldo. Yeah. And then I called him up, and we fucking laughed our asses off about it, going, we're such fucking idiots. And we both said we didn't need the joke. But I worked clean. When I did my half hour for Comedy Central, I worked clean.
Really?
Because they were beeping it, and I was just like, well, if you're going to beep it, then what's the fucking point? So I just did my act clean. But then when I did my specials, I viewed those as more like you're going to buy the DVD. This is a rated R.
Get what you get.
Yeah, this is a rated R movie. So if you guys want to go there and bleep the shit out of it and edit it and cut it all up, which I get. I mean, that's what they do over there. Fine, but like I want the original, not the blueprint, the fucking the original fucking generation of the thing to be what my act is. I'm not a clean comic, so I don't want to go out there and like. I
read that blog you wrote a long time ago about it, about how you used to be clean. That was you, right?
Yeah.
And then you were just like, what am I doing? At some point.
Well, I came up with Patrice, and he was working on. I came up with like some really smart guys, brilliant fucking guys, who were breaking down comedy
for you,
way beyond where they should have at their level, and just being around it. It's like whatever. It'd be like playing hockey with someone who's better than you. You're gonna get better.
Yeah.
And
they tell you some theory, and you're like, oh, I never thought of it that way, but you're right. I could put that in play.
Yeah, like Patrice was always breaking it down, and then on top of that, I got to listen to headliners who were breaking it down. But the guys I came up with, they got good so fucking fast.
Who'd you come up with? Who'd you come up with?
Came up with Patrice, Dane Cook,
open micers
Robert
together.
Kelly. Yeah.
Wow.
Like, dude, Dane Cook, for all the shit that guy got and all the like the backlash and all that, like it's really a shame that people didn't see like what that dude. He basically invented a new genre of comedy, and then like he was like
that physical style.
Dude, that guy was like fucking 2.5, 3 years into his career, and he had fucking headliners. Yeah. Guys doing it 15, 20 years, complaining, going, I shouldn't have to go on after that. That's bullshit. Where's the jokes and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, dude, you can't follow it.
Yeah.
And they couldn't. He was going up there.
That's what everybody says about Rick Ingraham. It's like, oh, he's just doing crowd work. I can't follow it. It's like, just go do your jokes right.
Yeah. He was like a rock star, what he was doing.
Yeah.
And then, when
I started,
it's like anything. Once it gets too popular, the tipping point comes. And then it's like, dude, back in the day, U2 was the fucking underground band, and they were the ones sticking it to the man and all that. And then, next thing you know, they're playing the Rose Bowl. They got this fucking alien tarantula over them and shit. And
it's a beautiful day. Your song is about a beautiful day.
Yeah, and then
who's being
and then everyone's just like the fucking corporate blah blah blah, and it becomes that. So,
dude, I saw Dank when I started here. Dublin's was going on. It was like it's not even there anymore, but it was like the hottest room in LA.
And not an easy room.
No. Did you do it?
Yeah. No, that wasn't an easy room. It was the good-looking Hollywood crowd they're so good-looking, they just want to look at each other and themselves. So it's really, and it was a bar.
And it was a bar, but it was also
wasn't a comedy club,
every week. And Dane he would just crush there every week. I would just sit in the back and just go, Jesus, he's destroying. Like on levels I had never seen.
When we used to do Nick's Comedy Stop, the guy, Kevin Knox, rest his soul, everybody fucking love is dead. Fucking, he was the greatest guy and absolutely would destroy. We used to joke that he didn't host the show. He took breaks from killing. And he like his whole act was a closing bit. And he would go up and do like 5 minutes of it and then bring you up. And Nick's was like Kevin an airport of people, just that they papered the room so nobody had anything invested. They were hammered, and he would whip them into a fucking frenzy, and then bring you up with your 2 years of experience. And it would be literally like you learned how to surf. You've been surfing for 2 years, and then you went to those giant,
yeah.
So you just held on for dear life. And Dane, I swear to God, within 6 months of going down there doing it, he was the guy who went on last. No one wanted to go on after him.
Yeah.
No one wanted to go on after him, and it was like he came out and he would just do the clap at the beginning of that song. Oh, Mickey, you're so fine.
Yeah.
He would get the crowd going because it was the end of the show. They were dead. He'd get them going, and then he would sing that song for like 2 seconds, dance like an idiot. Everyone would be laughing like this kid's a fucking freak.
Get them on his wavelength.
And then he would launch into his totally like. I mean, when you talk about alternative comedy, what he was doing was nothing like what everybody else was doing. So I was watching him doing that, and then I also had the Patrice was going up. And you know Godfrey?
Yeah.
He broke down Patrice's act one time so brilliantly.
Godfrey did?
Yeah, he goes, you know what's so awesome about him is he's so big, but his act is so small. Like, he doesn't move around.
No, he just sits on a stool mostly, too.
Yeah, and he's just talking to you. I mean, he got into conspiracy theory and really big subjects, but like the relatability of it was so him just having a conversation with you. So I was able to absorb
he had a real
totally different spectrums, and then be with two people who are really, really driven. Like when we were there, I mean, not to say that I wasn't driven either. Like I was no, wait, Dane got down to New York first, but then came back. But I was just like 3.5 years in. I was like, I'm fucking leaving. I'm going to New York. And I had no idea. And I got that walk-through bedroom apartment. I was eating spaghetti every fucking night. Had a roach crawling across me. All the classic New York. You know what's funny, too, is I didn't even kill it either. I thought it was part of living in New York. Like, I got to get tough. Hey, man.
Love you, Pandora.
Oh, thank you, dude. Thank you very much.
All right, one recognized.
One recognized. Nice. That's not bad.
Not from a bus. Not from a bus of sightseers.
Broad daylight. Dude, have we really been talking this? How long have we been?
I haven't even gotten to what I wanted to talk about with you yet.
How far is it? Because I got other shit
12.
to do. All right, well let's get to. We'll do a fucking lightning round of shit you wanted to get to.
Okay.
What do we got?
I want to talk about just you being a Boston sports fan.
Oh yeah.
I just want to get into that stuff.
I grew up there, so I am a fan of them. But there's a weird thing that comes with that success, is that there's a bunch of fans that.
Oh, this is a good segue from Dane Cook. Okay, go ahead.
That I don't remember being there. I've been away. I left Boston so long that I don't relate to it. Like I go to Fenway Park, there's people sitting on the Green Monster. There's like a little mall area in right field.
There.
They bought up all the souvenir stores. No, it's just you just walked. You used to be able to just walk in and buy a ticket.
Almost the whole, like every sport was just like losers.
No, Celtics were the shit.
Celtics, excuse me.
Bruins
Celtics
were always great. But they could never get past the Canadians. And then once we finally got past the Canadians, we couldn't get past those great Edmonton teams. As far as like when I was there, the Sox, like it's just what they did.
Sox could never win.
4 or 5 years they'd suck, and then it'd be like, "It's gonna happen," and then they would just choke in the most brutal fucking way ever.
But like all through the Wade Boggs and Clemens era, no, they never went as far as they should have. They never went there. Did they even go to a World Series?
Yeah, 86. They got to one strike away.
Oh yeah.
Which now I watch the replay of that, and now it's funny. It used to be unbelievably painful. Like I would sometimes think about it and I would get sick to my stomach. But now it's hilarious. When I watch the ball go through Buckner's legs, I just laugh. It's fucking hilarious. But
because you've won, so it's healed a little.
Yeah. The movie's over. And like even like when we won in 04, when we won in 07, it was like when we won in 04, it was like that was the end of the movie. Roll credits. So now what? We win it again, and we just excited. And by 07, the Red Sox had become the Yankees. We were fucking buying everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So it's that aspect of it. The Patriots used to play in this stadium that it was like they had like aluminum seats. If you stood up, if you stood up, you lost your seat. If you were the last guy to sit down.
Oh, because it was the long benches.
Because it was just like a long bench, and like people were kind of fatter than they were. And then if it was wintertime and everybody had their big puffy coats back then because they didn't have that new technology, like the North Face shit wasn't around back then. You stood up, you lost your seats, and then you'd be standing up, and everyone would be giving you shit, telling you sit down because they knew that you couldn't. Yeah, and that was the joke, and people would throw shit at you and fuck around. So you'd be kind of have like your hands on your knees, like you were playing like in the infield. So then the next great play that would happen, people stood up, you would actually miss it and sit down real quickly. And it was always everyone would sit down. There'd be the guy in the aisle that got pushed out, and he'd be like almost like in the middle of like a genuflecting, like he was in church, just like crouched down in like the aisle. And now we got this giant stadium with a mall connected to it. There's there's a lighthouse. So, but the team itself, and the game itself is still like the level of love that I have for the Red Sox, Bruins, Celtics, and Patriots is ridiculous. And evidently the LSU Tigers now, because I was devastated. I went to the game out there.
I remember the Pats being the first team when they played the Bears in the Super Bowl. It was like the first time I remember it was like a 15-point spread or something. And I was like, wait a minute. So you're saying the second best team is 15 points worse than the best team?
Yeah.
And then they cover the spread easily.
Oh, yeah, no, it was bad.
It was the first team that had no chance I saw in the Super Bowl.
At that time was the biggest ass-kicking until the 49ers beat the Broncos like 55-10 or something.
Yeah.
But I went to the airport when they beat the Raiders. They beat the Jets in the wild card. Then they beat the L.A. Raiders.
Oh, wow.
And I went down to Providence where they landed.
To welcome them home?
To welcome them home. Like,
you went to one of those?
Like 4 in the morning. I was a high school kid.
How old were you?
High school.
Well,
and then they beat the Dolphins in the Orange Bowl, and that was like the curse. We could never beat them. We hadn't beat them in the Orange Bowl in like 20 years. Or at least since the late 60s, and we finally beat them. And that was a big tragedy. That was one of the great Super Bowls that never happened. Was the Bears lost one game that year. They lost it to the Miami Dolphins.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the only thing. It's the only thing that stopped the Bears from going undefeated. And the last team to go to undefeated was the Dolphins.
And the Dolphins would have met them in the Super Bowl.
They would have met them, and the Bears would have had a chance to redeem themselves. And Dan Marino was a fucking man. That's another great argument. People say the guy didn't have a ring. He's the only guy who beat the 46 defense, and he fucking lit him up.
Yeah.
He didn't light him up. Whatever. He scored like 20, 30
defense?
points or something.
The what defense?
The 46 defense.
They called him?
Buddy Ryan came up with it. I don't know exactly what went on, but that's all you heard. 46 defense. You can't stop it. Dude, like, it was like, it was this juggernaut. So anyway, after when they beat the L.A. Raiders, it was like probably 40 people, and you're like high-fiving them and all that. Julius Adams and all these guys going by. It was awesome. But then when they beat the Dolphins, it was a fucking mob.
Because nobody thought they could do it.
Yeah, and this is pre-9/11. 16 years. It's a little airport. So we push through the fucking doors as the plane is pulling up. Do you know like those old school things, like, you know, like it's a pickup truck and with the stairs,
with the steps, yeah.
And you drive up? People were standing on one of those, like too many, was almost tipping over. We basically kind of rushed the airplane, and they were like,
wow.
You know, we got within reason, and there were like cops there kind of doing like we're going to start swinging soon with their billy clubs. And I remember
they had the shields pushing you back?
Yeah, and they opened all the doors to the plane. I remember Tony Franklin, our barefoot field goal kicker, who actually kicked the first field goal in that. We were actually up 3-0 for half a second when we played the Bears. I remember him waving. I remember Tony Eason walking by. It was sort of this weird look on his face with the worst members-only jacket I ever saw. It was literally butterscotch color. And he didn't look like a jock. He didn't.
What did he play?
Quarterback.
Really?
That's what
Tony Eason was their quarterback?
Yeah, that's that's the guy that we picked before Dan Marino. We picked Dan Marino.
So he got redemption by beating Marino in the playoffs?
The Chiefs beat... I really want to watch that game again to figure out how the fuck we bought them. We were probably typical. The Dolphins never had a defense.
That must have been redemption for Eason.
But you know, it was always like... We just got... When you win a championship, just everything falls into place. You just get fucking lucky and you go on a run.
No injuries.
Dude, I swear to God, 9 times that year to start the game, it seemed. Yeah. We kicked the ball off. The other team caught it. We knocked it loose for a fumble, or they just dropped it. And we either picked it up and ran it in for a touchdown, or we recovered it and had to go 8 yards.
Yeah.
That fucking happened. I guarantee you at least half a dozen times. And it was just like... And I know that our special teams, Moses Tutupu, Moses Musus, all that bullshit, that was the crowd. But, like, I know that they were the shit, but, like, it just got to the point of, like, dude, is this fixed? Like, how can this keep fucking happening?
Yeah. That's what you need sometimes, just everything working out. And
it's ridiculous that I can still remember all of that, and I can't remember the names of restaurants. I have no short-term memory. I think it's cell phones.
From that, tuning out.
That's the theory.
It's getting older, too.
That's the theory I'm throwing out there.
No, because when I was younger, I remember this guy driving me to work once when I was 16 or something. He would drive me like a summer job. My friend's parents. And we were both Yankees fans.
Right.
And I was like, what do you think of Steve Sachs this year? He's batting like 8 points higher than last year. And he goes, I don't know what he's batting. And I was like, what?
Yeah,
I thought you said you're a Yankee fan.
Yeah, but he also has responsibility. Probably a wife, kids, maybe child support.
Oh, I get it now.
Yeah.
And also, he's had fucking 40 different teams in his mind now. I had 5.
Did Steve Sachs get the yips with you guys or no? Was he already? Because that's kind of known
I'm
as.
trying to remember.
Because
He would
what's
just get
weird
nervous
was well, yips is when you just can't make the fucking throw.
The last minute, you just
No, what it
something
is,
happens and
what
you get
happens
nervous.
is you throw the ball to first base after you've done it a zillion fucking
Oh,
times.
yeah, you couldn't throw to
without
first.
without even thinking, and that one time you make a bad throw, then the next time you're thinking about it. You
Don't
start
make a bad
thinking
throw.
about you start make your mechanics. You make another bad throw, and then you got the yips, and you can't stop. He did it. I think it ended his career with the Dodgers. That's why he got shipped out.
They just bunted at him every
But
time after that?
Years later, Chuck Knobloch did it too, and he was.
Oh, yeah. He couldn't throw. That's right.
They
He
put
was
him
playing
in
second, right?
The guy was out of baseball by 33. It was one of the saddest things I ever saw.
He couldn't make the throw to first from second.
And he was a clutch fucking player.
He was great on Minnesota. Then he went to the Yankees.
Yeah.
That's what they say, that New York curse. But people, it's like it's too big a city. The lights are too big on you. That happens
You
to a
think
lot of
so?
people. Who was that guy that ended up? He
Some
played
people
for
can't.
somewhere that going to Detroit. Or
Jeff
came from
Weaver
Detroit.
didn't seem like he had a good time when he was in New York.
Yeah, it was some dude who played bad, then threw a perfect game like the next year when he was on Detroit. It wasn't Wells. Who the fuck?
I
was
think
it?
a lot of that comes down to the luck of just
how
being
you
an
happen to play.
athlete. Because I got to be honest with you, like when
Yeah.
they make a big deal about playing in New York City, but
They overrate those New York players.
well, because they sit there and they talk about like how insane the media is and all that type of thing, and that's the classic pro sport city mentality. Like, you don't even know what fucking pressure is and people giving a fuck until you go to an SEC football game. There's a bunch of rednecks listening right now. You goddamn right. You fucking tell them. Dude, it's 100,000 fucking people. And I swear to God, one of the great things about being in New Orleans, huge LSU fans, is the local, just the amount of local half-hour shows that they had where people were just talking SEC and LSU football. And,
On the radio and stuff, you mean?
Dude, and talking about all the players and the names and the coaches and, like, I'm telling you, like...
That's why I hate them breaking up those divisions in college football.
Oh, and they make the super divisions? Yeah, it all comes down to money. It's gonna be awful. But
Keep the
I
tradition.
got to tell you, like, if you are a sports fan and you live in a pro sports city, you owe it to yourself at some point. Just fucking light up your credit card.
Yeah.
Pick one of those big rivalry games, LSU, Alabama...
Who'd you go with?
Georgia, Florida. Paul Verzi. He opens for me when I do the road.
Gheaze.
Virzi. Verzi.
Oh, I don't know him.
Yeah, great guy. Yeah, we went to that. Then we worked the casino, and then we hung around. We went to the Monday night game, the Saints versus the Eagles.
Wow.
So I only have one more football team that I have to see a home game of.
Who?
Tampa Bay. That's the last one.
I went to a Michigan opening game of the season, like Pigskin Classic at Michigan. My friend took us, and it was like a last-second comeback against Virginia. It was just such a great. Those
Oh, yeah.
gigantic stadiums are great, but those
Yeah, they got
rivalry
the
games.
bands. They got the bands, and the crowds are going. It's going nuts.
And they have their traditions at Maryland. We used to all pretend to read the paper where they were introducing the other team's players.
That's so fucking funny.
It's great. And somebody says, I'm like, it's the best form of disrespect.
Oh,
like,
it's so
we can't
funny.
be bothered. We're reading the
And it's original.
yeah.
At least as far as I know, I never heard that. But like, there's so many. Oh, and I love like the college basketball. Those insane chants, dude. Michigan's hockey.
Yeah.
Go on YouTube. You should have your listeners do that. Look, you got to go up there and
These
just
up.
look up Michigan hockey. I would search Michigan hockey fans, their chants. Dude, they got a chant. I swear to God, and the whole section's doing it. It's like a minute long, and it's fucking the most.
And they all know it.
It's the most profane about somebody on the other team sucking dick and all this type. Like
They do their research, though. They know somebody probably got into something weird. So then
yeah, it's amazing. It's really it's a whole nother level. I went to a Indiana Hoosier game when Bobby Knight was still the coach.
Wow.
It's a fucking experience you couldn't believe.
Was it a Big Ten game? Was it like,
yeah, they were playing Michigan State, who won the championship that year.
Wow.
Yeah, dude, I'm living. That's how I do the
Is
road.
that what you're doing? I'm starting
Yeah.
to do that now.
Oh, you got to do it. I've been to every baseball, all the football, but Tampa.
Wait, you've been to every baseball stadium?
Yeah,
Really?
but except for some of the newer ones. But I've seen a home game of every team.
Wow.
Including
the Royals?
including the Expos, everybody.
Now, do you-
I've seen all the football except Tampa. I've seen
Including
all
the
the
Expos.
hockey except for Tampa, Ottawa, and Carolina. And I need because the New Jersey Nets moved to Brooklyn,
So
I
now
got to
you
go
gotta do
see
that.
that. So now I have 8 more teams there.
Do you, especially for baseball, do you stay an extra day or do you try to catch a weekday day game?
No, baseball's the easiest to knock out if you're a road comic because there's 82 home games or 81 home games, and there's
They always have day
and they
games.
have day games. Football is the hardest, because it's once a week. Everybody plays. Now it's a little easier because they play Thursday, which is such a shit game.
They're just adding.
It's always bad matchups, and they're worn down, dude. It's like, dude,
they don't have enough time.
Yeah, you play football. It's like getting into a major car accident.
They talk about a long week. That's a short week.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, it is like a major car accident. It is like that.
You should, with Thursday night games, you should be able to do roids. or that shit, the HGH, whatever, just makes you
the cream.
Yeah, that makes you heal up quicker.
Yeah, that seems fair. Just 1 week only.
Dude, what they're gonna do with roids and HGH is they're just gonna keep distilling it down and down and down because of all these fucking heroes who are going out there taking it, using their bodies as lab rats. The same way now you can smoke weed through a vaporizer.
Yeah.
They're going to distill that roid shit down there. I'm telling you, dude, you're going to be able to give somebody a fucking forearm shiver that they're not going to walk away from when you're 80. By the time we're 80, I'm telling you.
What do you mean?
Because they're just going to keep. It's just going to keep getting better,
bigger and faster.
Like the iPhone, it just keeps getting fucking better.
Yeah.
Right.
Somebody will die on the field soon.
Yeah, somebody will, and then they'll learn. It's like lawn darts. They learned. Okay, we can't have those. Horseshoes only, people. Horseshoes only.
Dude, people are killing themselves because of yeah, just those rubber ones, rubber darts.
No, the lawn darts. That was actually that was a toy.
Yeah, somebody got their eye poked out, right?
No, you died. That was left over from the '60s. That was a leftover toy.
What is this, a big heavy dart that you throw into the grass?
You would throw it.
Launch it up.
And the weight of it was made out of metal. Back when you could actually, there was enough raw materials. It was made out of metal. And, it would be like it'd reach its apex and then it would turn over.
Yeah.
And what happened is it was landing.
Like a badminton thing.
Yeah, it was landing on kids' heads, poor little kids' heads, and they were dying.
Wow.
So somebody who lost their kid, worst fucking thing ever, started a petition.
Like, why do we still have this?
Yeah, why do we?
I'm sure there's people like, it's tradition, leave it alone, it's fine.
Yeah. Like, you're going to make them soft.
My child got killed. He got a spear through his head.
No, like I believe with that one, like someone was in another yard and they threw it over the fence, like what you would do as a kid.
Oh yeah,
and it just randomly hit this poor kid in the head, and that was it.
I was babysitting this kid, Renan Butler. It was my parents' best friends, and they had him like real late. So
why do real names always sound better than fake names in a script?
Yeah, I don't know.
Renan Butler. I just like the second you said it, I know that's a person.
Right. You're right.
All right, sorry. Go ahead.
Violet Beauregard. We were smashing this. We found this almost empty bottle of Coke. Like a sip had been taken. I mean, almost full. A sip had been taken out and it's sealed. Right. So we started slamming it down over and over again to see if we could shake it up so much it would just like burst.
Right.
And this is a 7-year-old I'm babysitting. And eventually it slammed down. We just kept like throwing it up in the air as high as we could onto the cement. It slammed down, eventually burst and shot right at us like at super high speeds.
Right.
And then veered off at the last second. And just didn't hit us. And we were both like, whoa,
dude,
that was bad.
At times I should have fucking something really awful.
Could have easily gone down.
Do you remember the time I was climbing a tree with a friend of mine, just a little kid, way up in the air, and I'm like above him. He's below me. I'm going up first, like we're going up a ladder, but it's a fucking tree.
Yeah.
I know what happened. All of a sudden, I fell and just got like jolted, and like there was these two branches. They were almost like a chair, and I just landed in them.
In them.
And all of a sudden, like, I was like 3 feet above my friend. I was like 3 feet below him. And he was like, whoa, you okay? I'm like, yeah. And then just kept climbing up.
As if nothing almost happened.
Yeah, like no sort of like, like understanding your mortality here. Hey, let me show you. I'll show you a video.
Oh, from LSU?
From LSU, just of panning around.
How many people are there? That's where you...
they're always like 97,000, 100,000. It's fucking insane. But I will tell you what's really underrated is going to a the Saints game, man. The Saints game is fucking ridiculous.
Have you been down to the Chargers stadium?
Everything but the Buccaneers. All right, here we go. Let me see. Where the fuck is it? This would be great for your listeners to listen to you watch a video.
I'll put it on my website. Wow, that's a lot of people.
Yeah, we're all in the upper deck. Dude, I'm telling you, I always wanted to go. Wow. So when you walk through the tunnel and you see LSU painted in the end zone, and then you see fucking Alabama.
How much were tickets?
Well, I actually got I got hooked up. So I bought it at face value, $75
nice.
up top.
I do this thing now. I went to see in Toronto. They had a festival. That's amazing. They had a festival a few years ago, and I went. And I stayed an extra day, so I was like, let me treat myself. It was the first time I got booked for something.
Right.
So I was like, I'm going to go buy some Blue Jays games. And I was like, do you have any tickets left? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, okay, I'll get one behind the first base side.
She meant, we do get
like
plenty.
we always have tons of tickets left.
Yeah.
And I paid like $70 to one. And then next year I was going to go to another one. And they were like, dude, just buy the cheapest scalp tickets you can find and move all the way down. And they don't care.
A lot of them, some of them don't. A lot of them do though now.
They won't let you?
Yeah, it's gotten all that shit where you can't even stand. You can't walk to your seat while the play's going on, which I guess makes it for a better fan experience. But
then they hold everybody up in the entrances. Like, dude, come on, they're pushing at me.
Right. Yeah, but it's still. Yeah, dude. I have.
What were the Celtics games like during the Bird era?
I only went to one. You couldn't get any tickets, and I didn't have the money. And I went to the Celtics when they played the Pistons, the Bad Boys, right before they were the Bad Boys. But I remember Isaiah was out. But I saw Larry, McHale, Parrish, Dennis Johnson. I saw that team.
That was a sick team.
Yeah, dude. I saw Jordan with hair. He was still young. I saw Magic with Worthy, Kareem. These weren't Celtics games. I was living in North Carolina. It was before the Charlotte Hornets were coming.
Where did you live in North Carolina?
I went to school there for like 2 semesters.
I used to live in Greensboro.
Yeah, and the Charlotte Hornets were coming there. So what they did was they had 2 exhibition games at the Dean Dome in Chapel Hill.
Okay.
And each team had a former Tar Heel star. So
you went to UNC?
No, I went to State.
Okay.
And
Reap went there.
And they, I went there for fucking a semester and a half and then left. But so they had the Lakers. That's James Worthy was the Tar Heel.
Yeah.
And they had Seattle, I believe, which was
he was the most boring Laker of all time. Worthy
was no. Oh no, I love James Worthy.
He had this dunk. They had this poster of his, and he called it the Statue of Liberty dunk. They had to name it because it was so fucking boring. It just means you go straight up and just dunk.
No, that was
home.
the greatest thing ever. He was always coming down the lane, and Magic would hit him. I'm a Celtics fan. I hate the Lakers.
Really?
I loved watching him. He would just come gliding through. He had those fucking Kareem glasses.
The goggles.
Big game James. That guy
was great.
Man.
He was great. Don't get me wrong. Just the dunk was a boring dunk. Wait, did you guys hate the Lakers?
Hate is not even a word.
It was beyond that.
Yeah, it was beyond hatred. But it's a different kind of hate back then. Like, back then you hated the team. It was a fucking team.
And they stayed together forever.
Yeah.
So you could get to really hate a player over time.
And then when they retired, you actually felt a sadness of like, I remember when Dr. J retired. And I felt sad, like, oh man, I loved hating that guy when he came to town. I mean, you always respected him, but like,
that's how I felt when Jordan retired.
Yeah, that guy killed us. But now it's like it's just these mercenary teams of free agents. I mean, shit, the Celtics do it too. We bought a title in 2008, but like the Lakers now,
they traded for it at least. They didn't buy it. It wasn't free agency.
Yeah, but McHale was in the front office for the Timberwolves, and they gave us Garnett for nobody.
Oh wow!
Yeah, that's like Jerry West was in the front office of the Grizzlies, and they were like, "We'll give you Pau Gasol for his brother." That's like going out trade you Sylvester Stallone for Frank Stallone, and they fucking made the deal. Although his brother's coming into his own.
Really good now.
He's coming into his own. Yeah, but he wasn't at the time. There was no way.
That was one of the trades. I was like, what the fuck? Can somebody step in here for fairness?
Yeah. No, I But that's why the Lakers will pass the Celtics in overall championships because they seamlessly went.
They don't have a dead period.
Well, yeah, they had from when Magic left until it wasn't really. Yeah, no, it was probably like 8 years. Kobe came in 96, 97.
But they only didn't make the playoffs like 1 or 2 years.
No, dude, no, they've won more championships in the last 32 years or 30 something years than any team has ever.
Fucking hate the Lakers. I fucking hate the Lakers.
Maybe the Yankees have. No, wait, no. This is the stat that I actually looked up. They are the most successful franchise in my lifetime. I was born in 1968. No team has won more championships, including the Yankees or the Montreal Canadiens, have not won more.
In that
or
time.
The Celtics, they haven't.
Oh, the Yankees were really bad for most of that time. For the first half of your life, the Yankees were terrible.
Who were?
The Yankees.
The Yankees?
The Mattingly era, they were a bad team. Like they were.
Well,
never
they had the I'm older than you, man. I saw them in the 70s when they won. They basically bought the nucleus of the Oakland A's. Like teams that do that now are like, no, they bought. But I used to blame the Yankees for that. But the A's owner was fucking horrific and wouldn't pay anybody.
So they had to leave.
Like, dude, when they won their third championship, Reggie tells this story that like the ring that they gave him, each one should have got progressively better. They got progressively worse, and this was literally one. Like I think it was made out of like a spray painted gold aluminum. But anyway, it's like the Lakers now. It's like I look at those players. It's like Kobe's a Laker, but like those other guys, they're not Lakers. They're just like, oh, that's the guy from this team.
Dwight Howard's not a Laker. Steve
Yeah,
Nash
they
is
all-
never going to be a Laker.
They all pile on. Yeah, like Steve Nash never won a championship, so he's piling on. Which is why I got to respect Peyton Manning, because he could have gone to the 49ers and it would have been over.
Yeah.
And he didn't want people to say that he piled on. So he's a Patriots fan, too, and I've trashed Peyton
Yeah, it's weird.
a zillion times.
Yeah, but it's weird that he went to Denver. But it's like they were still a playoff team. You're like, you have a chance there, but you're going to have to do it. You're not just going to, like, rely on just the team itself to get you there, to the Super Bowl. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, he was going to go to San Francisco, right?
No, he could have.
Yeah.
It would have been over. It
Yeah,
would
they
have been
would've
over.
been the
Like
best
that, like
team.
that. There would have been, I think, there would have been no reason. Well, there is a reason. The Giants
Yeah.
is a reason to play, because those guys, you know, they fucked up against
Well,
Dallas,
it's not like
but
they
won the
won last
game.
year.
They fucked up last week, but you know what the Giants do? The Giants fuck
They
up,
win late.
and then they go, we should fire the coach. Eli
everybody
doesn't
gets-
have it, and then in December they put it together, and then they go on a run, and then they win. Patriots fan, you don't need to fucking tell me that. They're
Did you
the
ever-
shit.
How did you feel after they finally won that Super Bowl? That first one, when they were a wild card team, when they barely made the playoffs.
Who?
The Patriots.
When the Patriots won? I was at that game.
You were at that Super Bowl?
I was at the one when they lost to the Packers, and I was at the one when they beat the Rams.
Yeah.
When they beat the Rams,
Yeah.
dude, it was like
They were the first wild card team to win, right?
No, the first wild card team was the 1980 Oakland Raiders with
Oh.
Jim Plunkett, Kenny King, that 80-yard touchdown on a screen pass, and Rod Martin had 3 interceptions of Ron Jaworski, and was, I think, the MVP of the game.
And they went all the way. So, okay, but what were you saying about the
Hey,
Super
Bill,
Bowl?
what airline did you fly in yesterday? I don't know. Southwest. What are we talking here?
That Super Bowl, when they won, when they beat the Rams. You saying you were there?
I was there with my dad and my brother. My dad is classic, the older generation, who never treated himself to anything. Always said someday, someday, someday. And we finally said, Dad, it's someday. We're going.
The Super Bowl.
And,
The
dude,
Patriots in the Super Bowl.
He couldn't fucking... My mother told me, like, for 6 months, he was almost every day, like clockwork, he would wake up and be like, I can't believe I was at that game. I can't believe I was there. Like, he was, yeah.
Was it in New England? No.
No home
Where-
team has ever... No
Okay.
team has ever had a home game.
Where?
The closest thing was the 49ers. They played in, like, Stanford Stadium or something like that.
I got into him that year because Bill Simmons, you know Bill Simmons?
Oh, yeah.
Sports writer.
That guy's a beast.
He was great.
Yeah.
But he was going to go to his first Super Bowl that year, and he's a huge homer for the Patriots.
Yeah.
And he was writing about them leading up to it, and like, oh, they're making a run. Maybe they'll make the playoffs. Probably not, but maybe they will. And they made another like few
Yeah.
wins. It's like they made the playoffs. That's amazing. And they won one game, then won another. And
Yeah.
he's like, maybe they'll be at the Super Bowl that I'm at. Could that happen?
Yeah.
And then when they won.
Yeah.
It was one of the greatest articles I've ever read. I used to read that
No,
article in
it's-
acting class to cry ahead of time,
Yeah.
so I come in all emotional.
You know what's funny, dude? Animals suffering and
Yeah.
sports stories.
That'll get you.
That'll make me cry. Anything else, I watch The Biggest Loser and I laugh. I laugh. I probably start laughing so I don't get choked up in front of my girlfriend. You know, I hope they lose the weight, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Dude, I got to get going here, man. I do have stuff I have to do at some point.
All right.
I got to.
Well, thanks for coming in, I guess.
No, dude, this is great.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
And you know, now that we've joined forces,
Form an alliance, a
Yeah.
Justice League of America.
Let's and we understand what the fuck over is. Let's see if we can set up a plan here where we somehow actually make some money.
Yeah, get like a platform where we can, people go to. Just as long as you make it a launching pad, all things comedy.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to start blogging on it. We're gonna reach out to you guys. We'll start blogging, start making videos.
Do road blogs.
and,
I'm going to start doing that for
oh,
Comedy
yeah.
Central, so like a road blog.
Why do it for them? Do it for us.
Because they offered, but yeah, we should do it for you.
How much are they paying you?
I think it's going to be $150 a blog. Like nothing.
To drive advertisers to their website when you could be driving them to your own.
Yeah,
You got to free your mind, son.
I do. Because I
You know what
could
it
do
is?
that ahead of time.
You're institutionalized.
Yeah, I've been raised in a system.
You are. You're going back to the plantation.
Fuck.
All right.
Thanks, Bill.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, well, you have a Twitter account or anything?
At Bill Burr, BURR, and
the website's billburr.com too.
Yep, Monday Morning Podcast. It's
And
all
your-
on allthingscomedy.com.
And your album is out right now. You're selling on your website.
Yeah, for $5 a whack. It's called You People Are All the Same.
I've seen it. It's great, man.
Yeah, well, thank you. I appreciate that. I
Yeah.
think you're a phenomenal comic. I really do, dude. Seriously, you're one of the guys that I will try and watch as much as I can so none of your jokes are in my
So
fucking
watch
head.
it over and over again so
Exactly.
you know where it comes
Yeah.
from. All right.
All right, man. See
thanks.
you.
It's better than ice cream. It's creamier and it's sweeter. It's got a more rich taste. I'm sorry if that makes me some sort of what's the opposite of Patriot? I did get high, but I did just test back to back ice cream and gelato, and gelato was clearly better. I even accounted for your thoughts that maybe whatever would go last works harder in your brain. I heard a report about that, so I have had ice cream after the gelato and before it. It was just better. It was just better. I went back and forth like 10 times. Yeah. You should know, by the way, if you're a parent, like if you have a child, I'll speak on behalf of children. I live a child's life. If my parents abandoned me at like 14 and I had enough cash to get by, I would live how I live right now. I will just tell you, if you're a parent, you can make the difference with a maraschino cherry on top. You can change a kid's life. Like if that was something, if you be one of the parents that were like, whenever you get the kids ice cream, just always put a maraschino cherry or two. Yeah, or two. If you put 1 or 2 maraschino cherries on top of the ice cream every time, that would be a memory they'd take with them till when they were adults. They would look back on it. I don't have that memory. That's something I can't look back on. But I would. I'd be like, Dad, always put a maraschino cherry on top. Sometimes 2. I look back at other things, but that's just one thing. My dad hated ice cream. He said he worked in an ice cream factory when he was like 16, and now he hates ice cream. But just something to think about. Thank you to Bill Burr for talking to me and for braving. He definitely got into traffic when he left. That guy's rad. I probably cut him off too much. He's such a good ranter. He's got this ability to talk. He does his stage act and just, it's like you can't tell when he's making jokes. He never really, I don't know, I'm not saying that right, but he does his thing. I haven't really seen many comics do it. It's just not well anyway. He's really funny, but there's no like clear punchlines. You just laugh. It's just his real voice. So the way I would explain his thoughts on something would be the same as telling his jokes, because it's all just justified in the words. I'm not explaining it well. I understand stand-up better than I do it. Better than I can speak it. That's what I meant. So anyway, thank you very much, Bill Burr. Check out my sponsors, by the way, at proflowers.com, and go through my website to get that, and amazon.com. If you shop on Amazon, go through arithegreat.com or arishafir.com, whatever. And either one works. And click on the Amazon banner. And then do your shopping. Do your regular Amazon shopping regular, and I'd get like 5 or 6% back. It seems like a lot, but that's what it is. So if you get something major, like for like $1,000, $60, that's a lot of money. It took me so long to do the math. I'm so stoned. Okay, listen, I'm gonna read this article now, and we'll see if I can get through it. I should have something to drink first. Whoa. Okay. I just paused it, and I went to get something to drink, and on the way, I had a revelation about the ice cream situation and versus gelato. That kids, they're not going to be able to tell the difference. That'll be wasted on them. I did another taste test while I was gone. I went to get something to drink, and then I remembered about that I was talking about gelato and ice cream and maraschino cherries, and so I did another taste test, and then, kids aren't going to notice. They'll be super happy with ice cream. But the maraschino comment still stands. That is something they'll remember. That's a touch above and beyond. You don't have to get fine imported fucking Italian maraschino cherries, but just some maraschino cherries. Or those black cherries. Oh, and that thick sauce. Oh. Dude, where can I? All right. Maybe. All right, right after this is done, I'm going to go get some of that. Who would sell that stuff? That is something my dad did, by the way. There are these black cherries in this thick sauce. I think it was an Italian thing. I think he would get it from his sister. My aunt lives in Germany. She's from Germany. Oh man, yeah. And it was these black cherries in this thick cherry sauce, way thicker than maraschino cherry sauce. I used to, by the way, I used to steal the maraschino jars from my parents' closet, and when they had it. Oh, no. I would get some at 7-Eleven. Yeah, when I was 16 and 17, I was driving. I would get a jar of maraschino cherries, and I would eat them all. Not all at once. I'd keep some for later. But when I ate them all afterwards, I would save the juice, and I would just drink it. It's just like a half a jar. Just juice, just straight maraschino cherry. It's like syrup, and I would just drink it. Man. So don't worry about the kids. But, man, get those. I wonder if those things are on Amazon. Oh, this is what my whatever guy, sponsorship guy tells me to do. Hold on. I'm going to find this on Amazon. Pretend like this is passing time. Okay. All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to Google search black cherries, Italian, and then no, none of these are. Yep, here it is. Here it is. Oh, here it is. Amarina Fabri. Amarina Fabri. These are the best black cherries, you guys. Amarina Fabri. 2 B's. Amarena Fabb. Okay, so now, okay, here's what I'm going to do. This is the best advertisement everybody's ever getting. Okay, now, I know what I want. So now I'll go to arishafir.com, and I'm going to click on, hold on. Okay, it's opening arishafir.com. I'm going to click on the Amazon banner. I'm going to ignore the other one. While I'm there, I could get 4 free tracks of my album, Revenge for the Holocaust, but I decided not to because I've already done that. 4 free tracks. And then I'm going to type in, was it? Amarina Fabri. Fabbri. Oh! Wild cherries in syrup. Oh, this is wow. Wait, they also have cherries in syrup. Different kind? Okay, these things are great. Oh my gosh. Okay, $20. Oh man, this is a gourmet item, huh? All right, fuck. I'm buying it. I don't care. $20? Is that worth it? Fuck, I'm high. This is the time when I shouldn't be buying stuff. When I get so high, I end up just buying things because it sound amazing. Yeah, okay, I'm buying it. Add to cart. Takes additional 2-3 days. Wow, they have strawberries in syrup also. Oh, no. I'm not getting the strawberries. Okay, proceed to checkout. Password. Don't listen to how many keystrokes this is. Oh, good. It's already in there. So you guys get nothing. Unless you steal my computer. Standard shipping. Yes. Oh, I can't believe I'm doing this. All right. So, yeah. Oh, my God. Thank you. Order's been placed. It's been delivered November 27th, 2012. Fucking sweet. Fucking sweet. All right. Oh, I'm going to get some of those cherries. All right. So, such a good, nice. So that's all you do. And then, so I get a cut of that. I just gave myself a cut back. So if I just spent $20, I actually am only paying, I'm getting like $1 back. Yeah. Nice. All right. Where did I save yourself some cash? What? I was going to read this article. Okay, so here I am. I'll read it now. ESPN.com. It's way too long. I'm just going to get to the later part of it. And so it's already, the Patriots have already won in this story. He tells it already, and I'll read from here on in. And anyway, thank you very much for tuning in. Next week, I think I'm going to have a comedian that was just got done doing some electroshock therapy. And it was actually a good one. We had fun talking about it, everything. That'll be next week. So make sure to subscribe. And here we go. Good God, does it get any better than this? Here we go. True story. At around 3:30 a.m. Central Time, we were huddled in the back of Pat O'Brien's, the infamous bar right off Bourbon Street, when the theme song from The Greatest American Hero started blaring from the speakers. And we started singing along. Believe it or not, I'm walking on air. I remember the song. I never thought I could feel so free. I remember this. Flying away on a wing and a prayer. Who could it be? Believe it or not, it's just me. What happened to that guy? Sounds corny? It wasn't. You had to be there. I'm telling you, you had to be there. The Pats just won the Super Bowl. We were celebrating in New Orleans, and we were belting out the lyrics to The Greatest American Hero. Some moments you just don't forget. I'm not ashamed to admit that this was one of the 5 or 6 happiest days of my life. Seriously. So now what happens? I don't know. Adam Vinatieri takes on Mackie Rosioni, Paul Revere proportions in Massachusetts. Tom Brady could throw 3,500 straight incompletions and still walk on water. Bill Belichick becomes the next Red Auerbach. Tony Brown becomes a cross between, I don't even know. We love Troy Brown. The vibe is so good. The love is so strong that honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if this Patriots team decided to take a collective walk across the Charles River this week. Nobody would stop them. There's another dynamic here. We needed this badly. After the Celtics cruised the NBA title in '86, there was a ton of hits, one after the other. Lenny Byers died. The Red Sox choked away the '86 World Series. Magic makes the sky hook. The Bees couldn't win a cup with Neely and Bork in their primes. The Sox couldn't get past Stewart and the A's. Larry's back and McHale's feet gave out. Reggie died. The Pats almost moved to St. Louis. The Sox fell into mediocrity. Parcells skipped town after we nearly won the Super Bowl. Clemens and Moe left. We lost out on Tim Duncan. Patino stunk up the joint. The Sox couldn't get over the hump with Pedro and Nomar in their primes. The Bees basically died. During the 2000 season, we actually had all 4 teams miss the playoffs, the first time since 383 AD. In other words, we were starting to develop a complex. And then the 2001 Pats came along. And then they kept winning, and they kept winning, and they kept winning until it was all over. Until the confetti was flying, until the players were hugging, until the coach was being carried off the field, until the tears were streaming down our cheeks, until we were just happy, feeling happy to be alive. Now we have a 10-year grace period. No matter what happens over the next 10 years, we won the Super Bowl. Nobody can take that away from us. Nobody. One last story. After the game ended, I walked back to my hotel just so I could change and slip on my brand new Super Bowl champion T-shirts. And I noticed a Patriots fan slumped on the ground along O'Keefe Street. He was wearing a leather Patriots jacket, collapsed against the back bench, almost like he had crumbled there after taking a right hook to the face. I didn't know whether he was drunk, unconscious, or dead, only because I couldn't see his face. For some reason, I was concerned, so I tapped him on the shoulder. "Yo, man, you all right?" I asked him. He looked over. Tears were streaming down his face. He looked at me, unable to speak, totally overwhelmed, well past the point of being able to express himself coherently. "You all right?" I asked him again. "The Patriots won the Super Bowl," he mumbled. "The fucking Patriots just won the Super Bowl." And he slumped back down into a heap. Fuck. Damn. Oh, it's so good. Fuck. I loved Bill Simmons. I haven't read him in a while. God. Yeah, I would sit in the back of class and fucking try to read that until I teared up. Man, sports, dude. It fucking gets to me. I like stories of overcoming. There's a reason why Rocky's been told 20,000 movies. It's the same as 8 Mile. It's fucking good stories. Sports stories are amazing. Man. I wonder if I'm going to be grown up enough where I won't do this when the Hornets finally win an NBA championship. All right. Well, thank you very much for tuning in. Please check out my website to see all my tour dates. Go to my website. Also, I'll have a link for the whole article and all the songs I use and everything else. Is there anything else to say? Oh yeah. So I'm looking for a 2013 tour shirt. I'm taking designs. If I have any artists, I don't really know what I'm not looking for anything specific. I just want like a cool tour shirt.
I saw the Flaming Lips had one a couple years ago, and theirs was you can look online and see them. It was Be Kind to Animals, and then at the bottom it says like Flaming Lips, but it really had nothing to do with them. It was just a cool tour shirt. I like the way Iron Maiden does it. Just fucking cool graphics, whatever. I mean, cool for them. And then they're done with them forever. They're done with those things. So I'm looking for another one. Whoever's design I use, I'll give you $500 because I don't want you to work for free. But I can't pay anyone for spec stuff. So, yeah, think of something. I'm totally down. There's no rules. Something cool. Something that I would wear. That's all. All right, you guys, that's it. Thank you very much. Remember to keep December 28th open. I'll be in Minneapolis in a couple weeks. My storyteller show, this is not happening, will be out on iTunes either in the next week or the week after. In November, it'll be out. And I'm going to be writing a blog every week for All Things Comedy, at least every road week. So I'll already start with stuff I've gotten in the past. So go to allthings.comedy. That's the co-op Bill and I are doing, along with lots of other people. And I did 2 really awesome shows on Thursday. I did Set List. It's a really cool show Troy Conrad hosts, and it's just you go up with no material. It's a really fun show. I did it in Montreal a few years ago, and I really, really liked it. The one night my storyteller show wasn't going. And they just pick out of it. They give you like a few seconds. They tweak the order, but really you just don't know what you're going to talk about until you get up there. They just give you the stuff to talk about. And you have to make a set list, and it's fun to see the different comics try it different ways. It's like I get nervous. That and during my storyteller show, I get nervous. That's about it. But it's fun to do. Joey Diaz, I heard, is doing it December 3rd. I think that's the day. I'm probably going to go and just watch that if I can. If I'm back, I think I'll be back. Yeah, that was cool. And then I went straight from there to Sam Tripoli's Naughty Show perform. I've never done I've done like sketches and stuff on there. It's just a crazy lunatic show. I haven't seen one in a while because I've been on the road so many times. But man, it's fun to watch. Just madness and strippers. It's just great. And I did stand up and it was great. It's a great show. And the Naughty Show is actually on All Things Comedy now too. The weekly version with Jason Tebow, who's on my sports podcast too, Punch Drunk. Yeah, if you ever get a chance to see the Naughty Show in LA, fucking see it. It's just crazy. Obviously, you should take some drugs before you see it if you're into drugs.